Hello, it is I, once again, the Bruce Wayne of Azure Lane, back at it again for the 4th of July stream. Happy Independence Day, America. Heads up, I'm just going to conduct a quick sound check. Back at it again for the... Okay, it looks like the sound check is good. And what I decided I was going to do was I think I'll just start clearing Operation Siren. And you know what's funny is on my last stream, we were discussing what is the best naval combat game that there is. And all of us, like, and this is me after me playing World of Warships and the naval combat in War Thunder. And the conclusion we came to was, damn it, I forgot that song is copyright. Crap, hang on a second. It's too late now. Damn it. Okay, fine. Here we go. Oh, where was I at? Okay, so I started clearing Operation Siren a little bit, but what I'm going to do is the in-depth clearing. I'm going to get in all them nooks and crannies, and I'm going to use, in honor of Independence Day, my American fleet, of course. All right. Okay, I think I'll actually try and clear this zone first, because I haven't seen if my Marauder Shields... Yo, it's the Bruce Wayne of Azure Lane. Welcome, Marauder Shields. How are you on this fine 4th of July? That reminds me, I need to pour myself a glass. I'm in celebratory mode right now. All right, and I'm going to clear Operation Siren using my American fleet. Here we go. So this is my top USS fleet. Consists of New Jersey, Yorktown 2, Independence, Anchorage, Stephen Potter, and my best girl, Biloxi. I like Biloxi's voice actress. She has that like big sister voice. All right, this is a game. This is a game team. Top game team. Here we go. Sitchio, how are you today? You say Happy Independence Day, OG. Why, thank you. Yes, I am in celebratory mode as it were. Oh, I gotta click that notification. All right, here we go. Because now I think about it, I'm not sure I've ever tried to just breeze through Operation Siren with my USS fleet before. And I'm like, now is a good time to see what they're made of, you know? I happen to have some very top-notch meowficers for them as well. So, yeah, I'm sitting here thinking, guild mission completed. What did I just complete? Oh, I still haven't even done these yet. Is it this one? Oh, okay, that's nice. That's also nice. Let me take a look-see at this. And one more. Johnston Island South Sector. Is that in any way connected to USS Johnston? Action report. Okay, here we go. Man, I got a lot of rewards to collect in here that I have been neglecting. My guild. Oh, by the way, this is my guild, in case anyone wants to join. It is just called Highly Recommended, and it's on the Avwara server. 3 eyes in Highly. That was the most they would allow me. 66. Oh, I'm gonna call you Zazzy. Welcome, Zazzy. How are you today? You say Biloxi is fire. Yes, she is, and she spits fire too. Marauder Shield's doing great. Happy Independence Day over there in America. Why, thank you. I don't know if you can see it, but I also have my pro-America World War II t-shirt. I love this shirt. I'm going to see if that gets caught in the stream. Okay, wait. I actually can't see if that entered the stream just now. Strange. Oh, no, wait. There we go. Okay, yeah, you guys saw it. Just had to be sure. Mr. V says, Happy Independence Day. No, Johnston Isle or Johnston Atoll. Okay, Johnston Atoll. Okay, in the Pacific Ocean. That makes more sense. All right. Yeah, so far. So, you know what's funny about this USS faction fleet is that, so New Jersey gives minus 5% damage reduction. And then on top of that, I have a Meowficer that gives minus 3% damage reduction. But I also have my USS subfleet with another Meowficer that gives minus 3% damage reduction. So when you add all that up together, that's permanent minus 11% damage reduction for the whole fleet. If I add my subs in, my Eagle Union fleet basically gets an awesome defensive buff. And then they get there's another Meowficer in my sub fleet that has a what was it? That one skill that increases the damage of your whole fleet by 3%. I think I'm gonna try rocking my sub fleet in one of those whirlpool zones. Because I now fully leveled up Archerfish, and I have Kavala and Albacore leveled up. So this is gonna be the first time I'm clearing Opside with a full USS faction submarine fleet alongside my USS faction fleet as it is. So this is all American clearing of Operation Siren that you're about to see right now. 100% all American. It's a strange combo. Biloxi and Uranami share a voice actor. Oh, okay. Huh, okay. I did not know Uranami had the same voice actor. Ken, it's a dope shirt. Gotta love the old school look. Absolutely. How are you today, Ken? How are you this fine Independence Day? And Marauder Shields, it's my cousin's B-Day today, so at least something I can celebrate over here. He was born on Independence Day. That is cool. He should come over to America. Can share the birthday with the country. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to use... Because, like, now that I look at it, it is clear to me. And I did not actually buy the Siren data logger just yet. So all I bought were all those purple... Okay, I forget what they're called. But the little canisters that raise your stat in Azure, or in Opsci. I bought all of those. So I did raise my stats somewhat. But usually trying to clear Opsci without the Siren data logger should be harder. But then again, this is my top-notch Eagle Union fleet. And they killing it. And they have a whole bunch of damage reduction. So, looks like they don't even need a healer this round. OCL. Welcome, OCL. He says, Happy birthday, America. Marauder Shields, born on Independence Day, but probably not even aware it exists. Oh. That's another reason to bring him over to America. We could teach him Independence Day. We'll be like, welcome to the country. You share a birthday. We all have to celebrate together. Man, I am sore. I went to the gym today and I worked out extra hard. And I did this exercise where it basically works out your back muscles. And my back, which I admittedly probably should work out more, is incredibly sore. Like, I'm sitting in this chair and my back is basically just like, I'm resting. Finally. At last. You have had mercy on me. Yeah, you know, I was using Columbia for a while because I was split between which Cleveland to use. And I was like, Columbia or Biloxi. I obviously would go with Biloxi for waifu purposes, but she does a little more damage than Columbia. And on top of that, I found that when I'm using the Rocket Hellcat with Independence, flagship defense is not really a concern, even in PvP. Because Independence will obliterate anything coming at the flagship. These rockets are serious. Cleaned house. Wow. This is corrosion level 6 too. And no Siren data logger. Okay, and now that I think about it, Stephen Potter is getting a little low after the little mini Siren bosses. Okay. Okay, this might actually be serious. I thought they were doing a little too well at this station. Biloxi's better defense for the Vanguard for sure. And especially for Stephen Potter. Mainly because of that protective blaze skill. Dang. Oh, by the way, is there anything you guys is particularly on your mind that you would like to talk about? Because this is also Demon Time Tuesday on top of being Independence Day. And it's strange that the last couple of Demon Time Tuesdays we've had, the subject of conversation seems to always somehow swing into the realm of talking about booba. You know? It's like when you give, you know, guys a space to just talk about whatever they want, it seems that somehow, at some point in time, booba will always show up. It's a mystery. Or no, it's actually biology. Pure biology, of which I happen to be a expert of. I'm an expert in biology, by the way. Okay, so here's the thing. If Stephen Potter survives this, I can clear any zone basically right off the bat with Operation Siren, which is actually a pretty good feat for a fleet with no healer. If Stephen Potter survives. She looking a little questionable right now. Oh boy. Oh wow. Okay, someone is on near death, and I think it's Anchorage. I think she took a colossal hit. Okay, they made it. Oh crap, no they didn't. There's going to be one more that's going to appear. Oh, there we go. Yep. Yeah, it looks like Anchorage might not make it. Yeah, if Anchorage falls, this fleet might fall because Biloxi may survive because the Clevelands are tanky, but Stephen Potter's definitely going to go right after. Okay. Oh, there it goes, Anchorage. Okay, just survive the rest of this one battle. Come on, USS Faction Fleet. When you see so much booba on the screen, it's hard to think about other things. Blame Azure Lane. You know, that is a very fair and, yeah, understandable completely. There's too much booba to think about anything else. Oh, I was right. Biloxi was the only one that survived. Wow. My girl Biloxi on top of the game. Wow, alright. Cleared a whole corrosion level 6 with no Siren data logger. That's actually very badass. Dang, alright. How about that? Now, they damn sure need some repairs. But to have made it this far anyway is still pretty good. Okay, I'm going to take that one. And actually, I'm going to take both of these while I'm at it. Because I might as well. Yeah, Biloxi, not only an underrated ship. Oh, I didn't even use these. Oh my goodness. So I jumped right into Operation Siren, and my USS fleet was good enough to clear a corrosion level 6 with none of these. Okay. That actually makes me feel a lot better about this fleet. They did work. Expert work. Although I am tempted to buy the data logger now. Okay, I have 3 whirlpool zones. Good God. What are they trying to do? Kill us this Operation Siren? Actually, that's kind of the goal of Operation Siren sometimes. Let's see, request. There we go. All right, and then I'm actually going to try my subfleet anyway. Nope. Order. Submarine support. All right, here we go. Now let's cook with gas. Oh wait, I need to also double check something. Is the subfleet set to auto? No, they are not. Okay, there we go. And now we can go. Let's see. I saw Chemo. Oh, Metalcore Addict, welcome. How are you today? He says, I saw Chemo talking about upcoming PR ships. Said one day we may see Goliath in the game. Imagine how tall she will be. And dude, boobs, please. You know, yeah, I'm imagining she might be the only ship girl that's taller than Musashi. And Musashi is 2 meters tall. Musashi is stupid. Actually, you know what? I'm going to have to do another pelvis video that includes whatever dimensions that they give Goliath. Because Shikikons need to know about the safety of their pelvis. Should Goliath be as tall and as giantess-esque as we think she's going to be? Take care of your pelvis, guys, by the way. You know, to get your stretches in, eat your calcium. You know, the Shikikon has the most at-risk pelvis of any protagonist in any game ever. Sons of Sigmar, all I've got to say is that independence usage is non-negotiable today. I agree. Absolutely. DeVito says, sup, OG. How are you today, DeVito? Happy Independence Day, by the way. Let's see, HMS Anson. I don't know why, but for some reason, I decided that I will only use ships from the Merit, Guild, Datacore, and Metal Shop on my new account that I made not too long ago. That sounds like an interesting, you know, sort of self-imposed hard mode challenge. Let me know how it turns out. I'm curious. I'm curious how that's going to work. Marauder Shields, shame I'm on the wrong server, otherwise I would join your guild. Oh, it's all good. Let me see. Ronaldo CF, Oi Boa Tard, A Todos Tudo Bem. I don't know what that means, Ronaldo CF. If anyone knows what that means, I would appreciate a translation. So Marauder shields. I always wondered how much those adaptive tunings improve your performance. Oh, they are. Here's the thing: is one or two doesn't really change that much, but it's getting a bunch of them over time. The purple ones really help. Actually, if you get those adaptive tunings from the exchange store at the beginning of Operation Siren, it does a lot. If you get all the purple ones in the exchange store, that will actually make a difference, a huge difference. See, Mr. V, make me wonder how large would Habakkuk be. I'm thinking, here's the thing is, I'm wondering if, because apparently Dishwasher did a sort of sketch of Yamato. I'm wondering if Yamato might actually be the tallest, biggest ship girl in Azur Lane, because she was, technically the biggest battleship in the world. Musashi is too, though, when you think about it. But I think Yamato got like the later refit that made her heavier. In terms of gross tonnage. I'm not sure. I need to look this up, but I know she got a refit near the end, and she might have beaten out Musashi in terms of gross tonnage. Sons of Sigmar, very, and God, would I love to see an HMS Habakkuk best carrier out there. I'm biased for Midway, for obvious reasons. HMS Hansen, the only ships I will gladly take are from the map drops, or if I am in dire need from an event drop. Okay. Well, HMS Hansen, let me know how that goes, because that sounds like an interesting self-imposed hard mode challenge. See, Marauder. Yeah, I know they help, just don't know the numbers. Okay, I actually don't know specifically how the I actually don't know specifically how much per adaptive tuning sample it changes by the numbers. All I know is I can feel it when I play the game. So it's like if I'm playing like I can feel the difference in gameplay. Should I go over there? I should take a look. I'm gonna fight you once. Twice, possibly. You say, oh, I remember that drawing from him. That was a long time ago, long before he was even... Oh, was an Azur Lane artist. Okay, so that drawing's ancient is what you're telling me. Okay, well. Yeah, I'm wondering who we're going to get for this upcoming UR event. That should be in like, I don't know, maybe less than 2 months now. Yeah, the Japanese anniversary event. I'm like, it could be Yamato, but it seems to me that the devs might want to drag out Yamato like one more year. Like if we don't get Yamato this year, it's probably going to be next year Japanese anniversary. Probably. This is just a guess. This is all speculation. But it's a fair amount of well-founded speculation based on what we've seen from the game so far. Marauder Shields, Ronaldo CF's message translated from Portuguese. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Oh, okay. I am well, Ronaldo CF. How are you today? Let's see, Mr. V. Yes, like 2017 to 2018-ish. Okay, so that's an ancient drawing. Ancient in terms of Azur Lane, anyway. Dang. I'm curious. Okay, I really am curious how Yamato will probably look. I'm wondering if he's going to stay true to that design, but probably not. I bet ever since all the ship girls that have come out since, yeah, Biloxi and Anchorage both did 120,000-ish damage. That's nice. Okay. Decent setup. Marauder, why would anyone speak Portuguese here, though? I'm like, to be fair, I don't know Portuguese. I don't know anyone in my server that knows Portuguese, except for Ronaldo CF. But I am glad to have him. Okay. Yamato will damage more than Musashi or anyone else because historically she had better firepower. Metal Core, I agree with that. I'm wondering if, like, to me, what I see possibly is that Yamato would probably be the most heavily damage-dealing battleship in all of Azur Lane for at least a very long time. And I'm wondering if she may have a skill that, like, works with Musashi. I'm wondering if she has a skill that syncs with Musashi or Shinano. Or maybe a skill that unites both of them. Like a skill that complements Musashi and Shinano together. Because then you have the 3 Yamato class backline. That would be insane. That would be totally insane. The Japanese faction fleet in Azur Lane will be unstoppable if that happens. Oops. Almost dropped my phone over there. Okay. See, Mike, how are you today, Mike? You just say, hey, yo, peeps. Marauder Shield's going international. I guess my chat is going international, yeah. Nothing to be mad about, nothing to be, there's nothing bad about that, yeah. My chat, I would be happy, more happy if my chat went more international. That's a nice change. Although I still want English, English translators in the chat at least. See, HMS Anson. If there are some ships that I would like to see added, are the coastal defense ships from the Nordic countries like Sweden or Finland. Hell, even some ships from the Netherlands or Brazil. Huh. There are some interesting coastal defense ships. You know what I'm kind of curious about is HMS subs and Soviet submarines. Because I'm like, we are severely lacking in both those countries. Had a lot of submarines that did a lot of stuff during World War II, and we are severely lacking in both of those departments. I do want Polish ships. As I've stated many times before, I want the Polish ships. HMS Anson. I can give some names of these ships if you want to know. Drop the names. Let me hear them. See, Metal Core, wish they add Spain ships. Oh, Spanish ships would be interesting. Who else had ships that were like not very... What's another country that had like a very decent sized ships that isn't that notable in Azur Lane in any way? See, since France got 2 different versions. Oh yeah. Yeah. You mean like the 2 different factions, Vicia Dominia and Iris Libre? You'd have to introduce a whole new Spanish faction. And one side that fights for the communists and one side that fights for the nationalists. That would be interesting. Spanish Civil War style ships. Marauder Shield's coastal ships will be the ultimate loss. You have a point. I hope they don't make them lollies, but you make a very good point, Marauder. I like knowing what we've seen from Azur Lane so far. They'll definitely do that. See, now I can't be excited for the coastal ships. Wow, so keep in mind, my USS faction fleet was struggling last time I tried to clear one of these Zone 6s. And then I just added all those tuning samples. And now look at their health. This is the last battle of this zone. And it's like they went from dying near collapse in the last Zone 6 with no use of the tuning samples to basically being over half their health here. Those tuning samples, only a few of them, it doesn't take much. Only a few of them changes the whole tide of your Operation Siren experience. Metalcore, them Latina curvy girls, get ready for going dry, Shiki. You know what's funny? A friend of mine was joking about this. Mainly, for some reason, Latina women, especially if they have those full cheeks, they are super, super fertile. Like, you could just look at one of them in a grocery store and suddenly they will be pregnant with your baby. I don't know what it is about the Latina girls with, like, it's like the full like facial cheeks right here. They don't have them sunk in. It's just like smooth and filled out. Because I was like, dang, my dang. That actually got a friend of mine from high school. He was dating one of these, he was always into Les Spicy Latinas. And it's funny because the girlfriend he had in high school was really skinny and she did not have the full cheeks. But the girl he dated after high school, she had those full cheeks and she got, well, I'll just say she got one of his babies in her in short order. And I was like, damn, there's something to that. You got to watch out for that, man. Child support ain't no joke out here. Mr. V, Japanese UR possibilities, Amagi 2, the CV, Warship 11 or 797 Yamato class. That'll be interesting. And then Oyodo and Kai Akishinki class DD, Akitsu Maru. Oh, Akitsu Maru. And then Tachibani class DD, random type 2. I don't think we are getting Yamato this year. You know, there's also a light carrier that I would like added called IJN Kaio, which is a light carrier in World War II that actually saw a lot of combat. IJN Kaio did a lot of work. So I'm wondering if they could make her a UR when they introduce her. That would be a surprise to have a first UR light carrier. Okay, I'm going to have to take out one of these Zone 5s. Okay, I'm not going to do the Whirlpool Zone just yet. Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm wondering if we might get IJN Kaio as a UR. I should probably do a video because, you know, what's funny is she is so obscure. Like, she did a lot of work in World War II and for the Imperial Japanese, and hardly anyone even knows who she is. I'm almost pressed to make a whole video on IJN Kaio because of this. Ritus. Hello, Ritus. You say, happy 4th of July. Why, thank you, Ritus. Mr. V, there are a lot of interesting other nations. The problem is AO can't really afford another faction given the problems they have keeping the fans of current factions happy, like the Iris fans at the moment. You know, yeah, French, I'll just say the French be crippling. You know, they are hurting for an event of their own right now that actually introduces like a very good, they need a UR ship. Yeah. Poor French. HMS Anson. Salamis Greek. I'm going to butcher it for that if I try to pronounce that. Brazil. Hughes, Australia. Hydra, Greek. I'm going to butcher that if I try to pronounce that either, but it's a Finnish ship. Para, Brazil. De Zeven Provinciën from the Netherlands. Okay, these are interesting ships I should look up then. Thank you for this, HMS Anson. Mr. V, the interesting one is Tone. They changed her sprite completely last patch. Right now she isn't in game, but the change might mean she is in the next Japanese event. That would be also cool, because they need to introduce her. I'm wondering if they might have, like, I imagine if Tone is in the next event, you know, and then they could have IJ and Kaio, along with some other UR ship, like a Magi 2. That would be a decent lineup. Plus one other ship. They need more than 3. But that would be a decent lineup. And I have no doubt, because it's the Japanese anniversary, we're definitely going to get more than 3 ships. Let's see. Rightus. God bless America. Shuttle Killer is in the house. Says, what up, OG? Not much, just celebrating Independence Day, streaming Azure Lane. How are you today, by the way? And Rightus, how are you today, Rightus? Mr. V, Italy also needs a UR or DR. France at least has a DR. Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, Italy is not getting much love. But I think the thing is, it's hard to find, like, it would make sense if they gave them a DR, at least. Yeah. Actually, yeah, now I'm thinking about it, they could use a DR. Huh. Marauder Shields, I wonder when will Czech Navy be added? We have historically 100% victory rate out of one battle against the Red Army. Hey, that is the highest victory rate of any fleet in World War II, man. So, congratulations, Marauder. Yeah, we need the Czech fleet in there. The highest victory rate of any fleet in the world. Someone bring in some Czech ships. Yeah, we need, let's see, what else do we need? Soviet subs. British submarines. We need British submarines. USS Johnston, who I am eagerly awaiting to be introduced into Azure Lane. She should be a UR. She really should. Okay, you say... Oh, Rightus says, had a productive day, mowed the lawn, got some sun, worked out. So yeah, pretty good. Solid, Rightus. That's a solid day. Yeah. Very productive. Let's see. Mr. V. Tone looks like her sister Chikuma now. She's also the last heavy cruiser for IJN not in the game. Oh, they're probably going to do something special for her. If she's the last heavy cruiser for the IJN faction not in the game, they're going to probably do something special for her. I don't know. She's going to have like some very good skills, I imagine. Like basically, by introducing her, they are closing out the chapter of adding IJN heavy cruisers into the game. So I'm betting she's going to be the most powerful Japanese heavy cruiser. Maybe, you know, not as tanky as Azuma, but probably have better skills and better damage. Possibly. I'm just speculating now. At least that's how I would do it. Shuttle Killer. I overdid this event, but it's such a good affinity farm. That is the thing, especially for submarines. This event has been extremely good for farming submarine affinity. Anson, hell, I even have some new ships types they could add. The coastal defense ships, frigates, armored cruisers, torpedo boats, seaplane carriers, gunboats and patrol boats like Eagle 56. There's a lot of Eagle 56. Why does that ring a bell? Okay, I need to look up Eagle 56 because I've heard that before, but I can't recall a story of it at the moment. But that's a lot of ships. Yeah, there's all kinds of World War II ships that really Azur Lane could have fun adding to the game. And yes, that is the ship's name, Eagle 56. Oh. Mr. V, USS Texas needs to be added. I agree. USS Texas does need to be added, and I am like hoping she is a cowgirl. Like a tall, fit cowgirl with 2 6-shooters. Two 6-shooters and cowgirl boots. And, you know, the cowgirl hat. I'm hoping she is Texas as F. Okay, what did I just activate? Okay, never mind. It's just a box. Whoops. Dang it. Go back. Technically, Ibuki does have a sister, but I think that would be PR. Okay. You say one other faction that could be added is Austria, since the SMS German ships are in the game, but don't think they are adding any more. Austrian ships? Yeah, I'm like, dang, there's a crap ton of other ships they could add in AL. That I'm like, sometimes. Oh wait. Oh boy. At least I have oil to spare, but I'm running low on action points here. At least I have the oil to spare for this type of thing. Metal Core, need USS Iowa. I agree. USS Iowa. Absolutely. I want the ship I really want is USS Johnston or Samuel B. Roberts. I'm like, oh, and also the other Clevelands that saw combat from the beginning of the war. Because they added all the most combat experienced Clevelands are already added in the game. But there are still a couple of other ones that did some pretty incredible stuff. I'm like, we need to get those ones in. But I am a huge fan of the Cleveland class of light cruiser. Man, because if I was in World War II and I had to command a ship that was not an aircraft carrier, I would hope it was a Cleveland class light cruiser. Mr. V says, U.S. battleships missing. The whole New Mexico class, Indiana, the Wyoming class, the last Iowas, Utah, and the New York class are all missing. And that is, don't include World War I battleships like the South Carolinas and Floridas. That's a lot of battleships missing. From Eagle Union faction, that is a lot of battleships missing. Yeah, they also need... To me, I'm like, they also need... The battleships they do have, like North Carolina and Washington, for what the prominent role they had in World War II, they need an improvement. Augments or retrofits for both of them. My favorite World War II battleship is constantly splitting between Washington and North Carolina. Whoops, I don't want to do this at the moment. Send me back. Texas Red. Yes, you are an SSR DDs that have a skill called Taffy 3. Yes, Taffy 3. That would be a very good skill to have. The Taffy 3 fleet skill. And USS Johnston would be the only UR out of this group. And she would also have basically the skill that unites them all. It would be like the Thanos gauntlet of skills. Like everybody gets a skill called Taffy 3, and then you know, USS Johnston is the power stone that brings it all together. That might be the next USS event, probably. That would be cool if it was. If there is an SMS ship for the Germans they need to add is York, the sister ship of Rune. Is Rune's sister going to be as psychotic as she is? If she is, I don't think they need to add another Rune into the game. I will pass on that one. All you Shiki-Cons that love Rune, you will not live long. Her psycho nature ways will eventually turn on you, and she'll kill you. It's facts, man. I speak the truth. Yeah, don't get ruined in Azur Lane. Do not get ruined. See, isn't York already in game? I think he means the sister ship of the PR room. Or no, yeah, York is the vampire girl, or I think she's faking being a vampire. I'm not sure. I remember there was a World War I ship from the SMS group called York in Azur Lane already. Noriko, I want Yamato as you are, then Johnston in the event, and Yamato asking Johnston how that earthquake shell was. Actually, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be Johnston asking Yamato, why'd you run away? I'm right here. I was here the whole time. Come at me, bro. See, HMS Anson. It's a different version from World War I. Let me check something real quick. Okay. Captain Temple. Welcome, Captain Temple. How are you today? Says this might be a hot take, but for a mainly PvE-focused gacha game with rates as generous as this, I don't know why the devs have to hold back with the new ships or new augments power levels. Some of these augments for old ships are criminally bad. I agree. I agree with that. Some of these augments actually were terrible. Like, I didn't build all the augments mainly because it's a lot of gold coins that I didn't want to spend on them. But like, I'm like, if they gave an augment to North Carolina or Washington, it should come with a whole added new skill that drastically changes her in terms of her tier level. Especially North Carolina. Like, I'm thinking like Taiho and Graf Zeppelin and HMS Hood all got insanely good augments. And Albacore's augment is actually alright to an extent. The survivor of Johnston reported that the hits that Yamato did to them was like a big earthquake, and they could feel the ship splitting in half. Yamato's guns were crazy. Well, yeah, they were the biggest guns in all of naval history. And USS Johnston actually took one of those. And I believe that's what snapped. Yeah, that's probably what did her in. Was that one round she took from Yamato. Yeah, Nariko, then Johnston asking, why you run it? Yeah, Johnston is the ship that got, like, beat down, and then even after, like, just bloodied up all over the face, is still getting up going, like, why you walking away? Come back here, I'm not done with you yet. I have not yet begun to fight. I hope that's how Johnston comes off as. Like, Johnston to me is like, have any of you seen Monty Python and the Search for the Holy Grail? Like, Johnston to me would be the Black Knight from that movie. tis but a scratch. Your arm is off. No, it's not. I've had worse. That is my favorite scene in that movie, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. If you have not seen that movie, it's an old British comedy that's like still kind of funny. HMS Anson, yeah, scratch my idea. Let me find a different ship. Hold on. Oh, okay, no worries. Noriko, I mean, Yamato answered with another salvo, and then Japan saluted to Captain Evans. Yeah, respect to Johnson, even from Yamato. Or Yamamoto. Metalcore, why are you running? Why are you running? Indiana will be good, as she is the last South Dakota not in the game. Also, can't forget those great CVLs in Taffy 3, especially USS Gambler Bay was insane in that battle as well. You know what I definitely know is that if they introduce the Taffy 3 aircraft carriers, I bet they'll have a skill that nulls the out of ammunition buff. But yeah, I do want those CVLs from Taffy 3. Those light carriers fighting for their lives. Captain Temple, North Carolina and Washington deserve better. Exactly. They were the two. Okay, if you look at actual battleship fighting done in World War II for the USS side, those two ships did actually the most work for the war effort in World War II, North Carolina and Washington. Washington is still the only battleship that got in a straight up, gun-to-gun duel with another battleship from the USS side. Granted, I understand why. Here's the thing is, they were introduced early into the game, and early in the game, North Carolina and Washington were very good compared to the other ships in the game. So they were like one of the first introduced ships into the game. But now I'm like, you gotta upgrade them. They need some, put some spec back on their name. They give them some loving. For God's sake. I'm like, yeah, and it's the 4th of July. They could have just, if I was the devs, I would have just gave Washington an augment today. Just a surprise augment, like Happy 4th of July. Washington gets an amazing augment in honor of George Washington. That's just me, though. I'm heavily biased, admittedly. I'm heavily biased. But still, it's a good idea, And I think Washington's augment should be like an anti-battleship skill. Like she does 25% more damage to battleships or something like that. That would be awesome. Make her like a heavy armor focused battleship. 30% more damage to battleships. Okay, I have to clear this zone first. Johnston was like Rocky versus the Russian guy. If he dies, he dies. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Another one. Welcome, another one. Everyone has seen Monty Python. Okay, okay. I was just making sure, you know, just check. Captain Temple, the Black Knight scene is beyond iconic. Lol. Yeah, I'm like, dang, that Black Knight scene, that to me is like the epitome of USS Johnston in that scene. 'Tis but a scratch. Noriko, justice for Washington. Exactly. Exactly. Marauder Shields. Is Monty Python where the killer rabbit is from? Yes, it is. There is a killer rabbit in Monty Python. Yeah. Monty Python and the Search for the Holy Grail. Yeah, there's a killer rabbit in that movie that will actually make you never look at white rabbits the same. Mr. V, I think it was Haruna who did most of the damage to Johnston, and Yahigi who finished off Johnston. The last Noshiro sister was a beast. Oh, okay. Damn. See, most damage to Johnston was reported from Congo herself, followed by Yahigi. Or Yahagi, I'm pronouncing it. Yahagi. Okay. Mr. V, right. I couldn't remember if it was Haruna or Congo. Dang. Yeah, Johnston took a lot of hits. Man. Yeah. Johnston, she got shot up from literally every class of ship probably in that one battle. Destroyers, light cruisers, heavy cruisers, battleships, they all had a go at her. Pause. And on top of it, one of those battleships was the biggest battleship in the world. See, Congo, if I remember correct, was also the first to take advantage and shoot with color shells. Oh, okay. Hinai Kimono. Welcome, Hinai Kimono. How are you on this fine 4th of July? Marauder Shields. Killer Laffy. Yeah, Independence with the rockets, I have to say, hits like a Yorktown 2 light. Like, putting rockets on Independence is probably one of the best gear decisions I ever made in Azur Lane. My goodness. Congo and her sisters were done super dirty by AL. At least they are top tier waifus. There we go. Johnston took more damage than every other Fletcher class ever did and already sunk. Yeah, that's fair. Johnston's survivable was beyond insane. Even the CVL task force was stunned by what Johnston was doing. That ship had fighting spirit. There was something about that ship that just did not want to die until it had ruined the IJN fleet's day. Hinai Kimono BBQing at home? That sounds like a good evening. Siren. Welcome, Siren. How are you on this fine 4th of July? Says, rabbit casually taking the head off the guy is the best rabbit. Yeah, that rabbit was not messing around. That was the most deadly rabbit ever put into TV and film history right there. Okay, I think I actually will buy the Siren data logger, because now I'm thinking about it, I do have the oil for it. Well, not that one. Skapoof. Because now I kind of want to fight one of these like mini boss fleets. There we go. That's a decent increase. Oh, and I also got all these action points. Okay, so that works. Perfect. Here we go. Johnston, the destroyer that fought like a battleship. This is true. Yeah, that's what she's called. Okay, my stream did that thing where it briefly disconnects and then reconnects. It looks like I'm back now. But that can be annoying. See, saw they added Perma Perseus in pool on Chinese server. Hope they add her in the global soon. Okay. That is a... Yeah, Perseus is a game changer for new players. Yeah, if they add her in global... Marauder, so glad I got Perseus. Okay, when I got Perseus, I put her in my HMS faction fleet when they first introduced Perseus. She has never moved out of my HMS faction fleet since that event. She is that useful. Like the two most useful light carriers in all of Azur Lane, Perseus and Independence. Mr. V says that the DD that was done dirty is niche. Granted, she has an SSR retro, but for a ship that has 30 battle stars, that is not good enough. Niche, or do you mean Nick? Like Nicholas? Oh, yeah, when I was looking at what they did when they introduced Nicholas, I thought it was based off of her World War II, like exclusively her World War II career. But yeah, she had a really good career even after World War II. Captain Evans said, "We will do everything in our power to protect the needs of others, as long as we can, and with every power we can. If someone not feels the same ways, he may not fit on my ship." Captain Evans was a badass. Like, Captain Evans, his story I find inspirational. Captain Evans is like, oh, you know what's funny? There was actually a story I listened to from another YouTuber about another World War II soldier whose name was McNasty. Like that was his nickname. Was his name was Private McNasty. So okay, I need to find his proper name, but his nickname was hang on a second. I need to look this up. Is that important? Jake McNasty McNeese. Okay. So Jake McNasty McNeese is basically a World War II anti-hero. So he, you say, yeah, Nicholas, yeah, World War II Korea in Nam, Bataan was super important in Korea. Yeah. Nicholas had a long career. That submarine did everything. Not submarine. That destroyer did everything. But yeah, so I was listening to the story about every time I look up Yarn Hub and watch Johnston's Last Stand, I catch myself get a tear. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that video actually hits me in the soul. That pulls on my man strings right there. That video from Yarn Hub on USS Johnston. That is one of my favorite videos on YouTube. Yeah, and the Japanese destroyer Yukikaze, they could have obliterated the rest of the crew as they went by, and all they did, they could have killed them, and all they did as they went by USS Johnston while she was sinking was they just saluted her out of pure, utter respect. Even though she was sinking and they could have just, you know, used their guns to mow down the rest of the crew, they just were like, nah. Common courtesy, my friend. And even in the middle of a battle. That's ridiculous. It's almost like there's some things like not too many people can understand, like a handshake between two sworn enemies who have been, like, you know, sworn by oath to destroy each other, yet still can exchange gentlemanly courtesy, even in the act of killing each other. World War II was an interesting time, man. Hinai Kimono, that destroyer is me. Yukikaze, respect. Mr. V, it is so sad that Yukikaze was destroyed by a storm in the 70s, or she would be a museum ship today. Yukikaze was an amazing ship as well. That is undeniable. That's undeniable. Yeah, Yukikaze is basically like, she had the same amount of luck in World War II as Enterprise, but, you know, being a Japanese ship. Oh, Hinai Kimono, Nicholas is me. You mean doing literally damn near everything in the time of, in a very long service life of, you know, doing everything in every war you can. Like, there was a job and you were there, and it was, and you knew what time it was for, and that happened to you your whole life. You're like, all right, it's time to work. Oh, well, my real name. Oh, your name is Nicholas. Oh, okay. I thought you meant like the destroyer is you, like the spirit of the destroyer. Oh, Marauder, I think out of all war branches, sailors had the most respect for each other, even for their enemies. You know, I could understand that too. A lot of that has to do with the fact that, like, you know, it's sort of like life on a ship comes with its own difficulties, and you know that every other sailor in the world has to deal with those difficulties. And so in some way, you're in all the issues that come with sea travel and a love of the sea. In some way, the sea actually bonds you to like every sailor. It's strange. Like, you know, what's funny is, do y'all remember when the Kursk incident happened? So the Soviet submarine that sank, there was like people going to the U.S. There was like, I want to say, I think there were like reporters going up to the U.S. Navy going like, yeah, doesn't it feel good to watch like a Soviet sub sink? And none of them, even though this was like, you know, during one of the, you know, most intense times of the Cold War, none of them were like, none of them were happy. They were like, not really. Like, that would suck to be on that submarine. Like, that's the attitude they had. It was like, I feel bad for them. You say, well, my real name, I'm not that brave. Destroyer captains were the craziest too. You had to be crazy to be a destroyer captain in World War II. You had to have some screws loose in your head to be a destroyer captain in World War II. There simply just wasn't, like, you were on the ship that was most likely to A, get shot at, and B, have the least chance of surviving a hit, but also have a whole bunch of work that your ship is supposed to do in order for the fleet to survive. So you had to be a sub hunter, you had to do anti-air, and then you had to fight other ships. And you are in the smallest ship. So everybody can outgun you, except for other destroyers. In which case, it's an even fight, which is also a nightmare. Oh, I can go over and clear this zone 6. I need to do that. Actually, I should clear one of those whirlpool zones now that I activated the data logger. Okay. And I can use my subs for the whirlpool zone, so that will be interesting. So I'm going to do that next. See, the commander of the Yukikaze said if they didn't have to protect the beauty Yamato, they would have helped the sailors and rescued them. It teared them just to be able and do a dive by and salute them, or do a drive-by and salute them. It teared them too. Oh, so it made them like shed tears just to be able to go by them and salute them. Dang. I'm sure Yukikaze, as a destroyer, as combat experienced as, you know, she was, I'm sure Yukikaze felt, like the crew of Yukikaze, I mean, they probably understood more than anything how daring and difficult what USS Johnston did was. So that, like, I'm like, I could imagine them just going by USS Johnston and being like, they understand it, and because they understand it, they respected it on a level that most people, well, everyone else probably couldn't have. The other IJN amazing DD was Shigure. Shigure survived so many things that she should have, and was the lone survivor so many times in World War II that it was kind of insane. Shigure, huh? Dang. Shouldn't have survived. Okay, I see what you're saying. She survived things that she shouldn't have. Yeah. It's crazy. I still look at, like, you know, the greatest generation, like the World War II generation of, like, I remember growing up. I don't, it's definitely not this way now in the US, but I remember growing up, like, I don't know, they were kind of lionized, and rightfully so, as like these almost like they were viewed as like the great giants off which the back of the country was built on. And the more I look at their story, the more I'm like, it was totally deserved. It's like the amount of things that happened back then, it just, most people today couldn't even fathom, just like even being in those positions. I think that in knowing what Johnston did was only Laffy, Yukikaze, Shigure, and Z-23. Those DDs were, wow. Also, Japan had really some gallant DDs doing work that just was insane. It seems to me the Japanese Navy, like their destroyers, they often had their destroyers doing a lot of work. Like, because they didn't have, I know it's because a lot of it is their heavy cruisers and everything were, they did not have as many of those as we had, but their destroyers, they put them on like a bunch of tasks that were like ridiculously dangerous missions. And their crews actually performed comparably well for the situations they were in. Like Kawakaze, for example. Kawakaze actually, I think, needs, like, Kawakaze is one IJN ship that I think needs a serious augment to improve her. I think it is why Shigure, Yukikaze, and Udachi have a bit of rivalry in AL. That said, thinking of insanely brave destroyers, you can't leave out Glowworm. Glowworm is also true. Glowworm, that was dedication and bravery. That was commitment. Glowworm is a pure example of, like, bravery and commitment. Yeah, Glowworm, to me, that is another example. You know what's funny is Glowworm, I was just earlier talking about, like, how, naval sailors can respect each other. Yeah, and someone mentioned that they probably have more respect for, like, the opposite side of their version than the other services. And Glowworm also, I would say, is a clear example of that, because after she tried to ram Admiral Hipper and sank, Admiral Hipper's commander was so impressed, he actually sent a request to the British Admiralty to give Glowworm's commander a Victorious Cross medal. Like, when the enemy recommends you give one of your commanders a medal, that is an insane amount of, like, that person did something incredible. That person did something probably, like, unseen level of bravery. Like, not unseen, but, like, very rarely ever happens type of thing in battle. That's commitment. Oh yeah, Noriko's on it already. Yeah, he said also the German commander for Hipper asking the Admiralty for a Medal of Honor for Glowworm's commander. Yeah, Noriko, you're already on it. Siren, want to grind AL but can't. Got 50k gold for Haku. Thought that if I changed to Haku Research and completed if the timer would restart, so I could start a gear quick, but no 24-hour waiting. And I ain't spending oil if it isn't giving me research XP. Yeah. I could understand that perspective as well. I have oil to spare, mainly because the ships I've been using for a lot of the past events, like, right now I've been trying to grind Benson, solely because she is a destroyer, a USS Faction Fleet destroyer, with the air raid assistance skill, and she's the only one that is not a lolly. And I'm trying to replace Stephen Potter with her. Sure, I'll miss the whimsical protector skill, but she does actually have enough gun efficiency that her gun is actually usable, unlike Stephen Potter. And she has this torp stat that makes her torpedo actually usable. So I'm like, there are some trade-offs, but I'm willing to try. Mr. V, there is also the Campbell Town, which has an insane story. Campbell Town. Okay, I actually cannot recall a story for Campbell Town, which means it's a ship I need to read up on. Okay, Mr. V, I need to know about this ship. Can you give me a quick summary? Because I need to read up on this ship, because I don't know about the Campbell Town. But it sounds like it's an amazing vessel. Noriko, Bruce Fraser, when he sunk Scharnhorst, said, "Gentlemen, the battle against the Scharnhorst has ended in victory for us. I hope that any of you who are ever called upon to lead a ship into action against an opponent many times superior will command your ship as gallantly as the Scharnhorst was commanded today. Can we respect that too? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Oh, there we go. Oh, whoops. I did not mean to click that far ahead. Okay. Let's see. Campbelltown destroyed Tirpitz dry dock by ramming and suicide exploding. Campbelltown has an amazing story. Oh, is that the ship that they loaded up with explosives and then rammed into the yeah, they rammed it into the harbor, or yeah, that's the ship? Okay. Yeah, she was filled with explosives and basically sent as a fast, speedy sailing bomb. Hmm. Yes, that's the ship, Noriko says. Okay. Dang. That ship gave its all in one go. If you know. Okay, I don't think I need to send my ships back to heal. They look like fine right now. Okay. Oh, I was gonna do the Whirlpool Zone with my American subs. Okay, dang. I'll do that after this. Okay, I do know the story of that ship, which is very incredible, yeah. Campbelltown was originally USS Buchanan, a Wilkes-class DD. Dang. Okay, Okay, I did not know she was originally a USS ship. I thought she was British. Tirpitz' one battle was also just insane. Tirpitz had, like Bismarck, just one battle, but that shore bombardment she did was shredding. Buchanan. Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. V. I did not know this. I am more than happy to be educated in the chat. The more I know about World War II, the better. One of the land lease, or I think you mean lend lease, DDs the US sent to the UK. Okay. Huh. Dang. Yeah, we were giving them ships, and they gave us Victorious for a temporary time. When we needed aircraft carriers, the UK lent us one, and for that I am very thankful. See, but I think for me, the most respectful sacrifice was Musashi. With Johnston on number 2, Musashi, really? I'm still going to go with Johnston. I want a USS Robin skin at least for Vicky. Mr. V, I agree. She needs, or a USS Robin skin would be awesome for her. Yeah, we need a USS Robin skin for Vicky. Musashi's skill literally represents her sacrifice that she did. I think Johnston still takes the number 1 cake. To be fair, Musashi probably was the single most ship that took like the most air attacks, like the most damage that the US Navy had to inflict on a ship to sink it. See, while Johnston had friends helping her, Musashi literally leaved and sacrificed her so her friends can run. Huh. Dang. Musashi. How about that? Well, let's see if I can lower my camera just a bit. Right there, I think. Okay. Yeah, Musashi. How about that? You know what's funnier? There's a Instagram channel I've been watching, or not watching, but like I follow on Instagram, a Musashi, like Miyamoto Musashi, the samurai quotes, and Miyamoto Musashi is actually one of my favorite philosophers of all time. Like, I mean, he's obviously viewed as like the greatest samurai of all time, but he has some quotes about life that will make you think. For me, most respectful sacrifice is Yorktown. You know, that also is another one that I think should take the cake, Mr. V. That is a very good point. Yeah, Yorktown got messed up in a previous battle before entering Midway, and then she still fought at Midway while being sort of jerry-rigged repaired. And then, while after the battle of Midway was won, then she got sunk. What's crazy to me is I seriously think, like in Azur Lane lore, technically the leader of the USS faction fleet should be Yorktown at the beginning of the war, and then Enterprise after Yorktown is sunk. That to me would make sense, because I always thought, no joke, when I was first watching, or when I was first introduced to Azur Lane, I actually thought Yorktown was the clear choice for the leader. I was like, Yorktown's got to be the leader. You know, the first sister of the Yorktown class of carriers at the beginning of World War II, clear choice for the leader of the USS faction. Oh, I guess I'm done with this. Okay. I will buy that. Oh, I could buy that. I could also buy that. Musashi holded on for 24 hours, respect to the crew, holding on for her friends. Even the U.S. said that the ship gets was determined, or said that ship gets was determined for her friends. Sorry, got it wrong. The U.S. said Musashi, a name we will never forget, and we make sure of that. Against all odds alone and sacrificing for her friends, a sacrifice worth the odds. Dang. I did not know this about Musashi. I always thought of her as just, giant battleship got sunk. to be honest. But dang, I did not think of that part. Yeah. Wow. I look at Musashi differently now. Just a little bit. Hmm. All right, I'm gonna keep. Actually, no, 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 no. I'm gonna go to the whirlpool zone. Oh wait, let me double check something. I need to go and see if there's anything here I need to buy. You say now the leader in lore is Sarah. I have never seen, I've heard that somewhere, but I never looked at Saratoga as the leader of the USS faction. It doesn't really make that much sense to me. To me, to me, out of the USS faction fleet, to me, the obvious choices would be Yorktown or Washington. Like the best choice to me would be first Yorktown and then Enterprise after Yorktown is sunk. Or if it's not going to be them, because usually the faction leaders are battleships, it should be USS Washington. I don't know. Azur Lane devs. We need to have a chat. OG Investigator is going to call the Azur Lane devs and be like, look, guys, you need to rewrite this whole USS leader lore for Azur Lane. I'm a former U.S. Navy officer, graduate of the Naval Academy, and a historian. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Let me help you. I'm just messing around now, but I'm kind of not. I'm half joking. That's the correct term. I'm half joking. All right, let's see if the USS faction, combined with the submarine fleet, is enough to wreck this joint. Oh no, wait! It's going to clear every single ship. Okay, never mind. It's probably too many zones. This is what I normally use the Royal Navy fleet for: is clearing out whirlpool zones, because the Royal Navy fleet has Perseus, and she has a heal, so she can keep the fleet going. Marauder shields. Man, I love absorbing all the knowledge here. Me too, Marauder. Me too. Okay, I think I'm just wasting my subs here. Hang on a sec. I'm going to change something. Because I want to use... Okay, I'm going to save my USS faction fleet for attacking the big boss now. And then I'm going to use the Royal Navy fleet for clearing the rest of this map. So there are pictures of Musashi literally alone on sea, attacking by planes, sitting there and just holding on. Dang. Musashi. I did not know that. See, now I look at Musashi, I'm going to look at Musashi totally differently from today. I'm going to be like, dang, Musashi, you had a whole deep story I did not even consider. Yeah, when they do the events, Sarah always talks for the EU as its leader. You can make the cause Enti is the military leader and Sarah is the political leader of the EU. That's a little fair, but still. That is, Why isn't Washington the political leader? Think about it. I mean, think about it. Washington is a clear choice for the political leader. Azur Lane. Wait, devs, we need to have a chat. Mike, OG, where did you went to school? I graduated from the U.S. Naval Academy. Yeah. My major was, in fact, history. Let's see. Mr. V, the start of the war leader of EU should be Penn, as she was the flagship at the start of the war. I did not know that. Wait, so Pennsylvania was the flagship of the U.S. Navy at the start of the war? Really? Are you serious? What? I need to look this up. I did not know this. I'm going to look at Pennsylvania differently now. Like, she looks like a police officer when you look at her as a character in, like, if you just look at her default skin, she actually does look like a police officer. But, dang, so she was the leader. Not the leader, but the flagship. How about that? See, isn't it natural to have a CV as the Eagle Union leader? You know, I would accept a CV as the Eagle Union leader. It's just all the other... It seemed like a trend for a while that all the other faction fleets had battleships as their clear faction fleet leader. So I thought, okay, I guess only battleships can be, you know, the technical lore leader of a faction. But if Eagle Union was the only faction to have a carrier as its leader, that would make sense to me. See, while New Jersey had freedom of firepower, as Moto Musashi had think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world, or motto. So freedom of firepower as a motto. Musashi had think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world as a motto. Hinai Kimono, if only I could look at Musashi in game. Oh, so you don't have Musashi? I don't know when she's getting a rerun, but it's probably going to be a while. So, yeah, hey, who knows? We might get, I'm wondering if what we're going to get this incoming Japanese event. So you will get a Japanese faction leader somewhere. Not faction leader, Japanese UR somehow. We just don't know who it's going to be yet. You see, if you may like Musashi's motto, it is a quote directly from Miyamoto Musashi himself. I have mad respect for Miyamoto Musashi because, like, there's just that Instagram channel that I follow, which is a bunch of quotes from his book, The Five Rings, where he talks about, like, basically his philosophy for life and swordsmanship in his book. There's a lot of stuff that even today is highly applicable to your life. I was like, Miyamoto Musashi, it's like the old school term is you had a man crush on someone. It was like a man you wanted to be like. Miyamoto Musashi I highly admire, just from his writings alone. And his actual real-life story is incredible. Mr. V, thinking of brave IJN BBs, Yamashiro 2, the last BB to fight others directly. By the time it started, her sister had already sunk and she had no chance of winning, but she still did her best. That's also true. Penn, leader of U.S. Navy from inner war to start of war, or rather flagship of the battle fleet. I did not know this about Pennsylvania. I'm glad I'm learning this stuff now. This is good knowledge. Honestly, Queen Elizabeth shouldn't be the leader of Royal Navy, as the flagship of the HMS was King George V. That makes sense to me because she is like the King George V class was basically like the Royal Navy's most advanced battleships for the duration of the war. So it would make sense to me that, you know, KGV would be the faction leader of the Royal Navy. I think they just made Queen Elizabeth because the namesake Queen Elizabeth, which a lot of people accepted. Phantom Silver, welcome to the stream, Phantom Silver. How are you today? How far in an hour am I late at? Let me see. I started the stream at... Okay, you're about the stream started about 1 hour and 41 minutes ago. Maybe 40 minutes ago, as I started the stream maybe like a minute after, you know, the scheduled EST time. Yeah. Miyamoto Musashi killed a dude in a duel with a boat oar. That's true. I've heard of that story. Like some guy... okay, this is the way I heard the story was the swordsman who Miyamoto Musashi was going up against, he is like he had a katana that he had folded like an insane amount of times at the forge. So it was like a piece of Japanese steel folded like 1,000 times. And it was supposed to be like one of the most best Japanese katanas probably ever made in the entire history of medieval Japan. And he wanted to duel Miyamoto Musashi. And Miyamoto Musashi did not have a sword, so he just grabbed an oar and fashioned it into a bokken, which is a metal, it's like not a metal, it's a piece of wood shaped in the form of a katana. And he did this on the way there. So he made a bokken. And then right when he gets to the duel, the guy, he was like, okay, this is how fast Miyamoto Musashi was. In one move, like he meets the guy in the duel, and in one move, he takes his bokken, this piece of wood in the shape of a katana that he cut on the way there, and hits the guy in the back of the neck, and it paralyzes him for the rest of his life, which is not very long. Paralyzed him from the neck down. So that guy spent all that time fashioning that sword, you know, folding the sword 1,000 times for no reason. should have spent that energy like that. To me, that was like the lesson of that is, if you have all that time, should you focus it on making a sword or working on your sword techniques? The sword techniques will win out every time. Yeah. Imagine that some guy did that, and apparently, I'm not sure. Okay, I need to read the story again, but I don't think the guy, like Miyamoto Musashi, was so fast. I don't think the guy was even able to pull the sword out of the sheath before Musashi had hit him in the back of the neck. So, like when the duel happened, he just took him out. The sword never came out of the sheath at all, and he just collapsed. And Musashi just walked on like nothing. He was like, huh, that was that. Productive day. Just paralyzed the guy from the neck down because he wanted to fight me. Phantom Silver. Yeah, I'm quite late then. Doing well, though. I'm glad to hear that. Marauder Shields. 1,000 times folded ore. Apparently, a 1,000 times folded ore can beat a 1,000 times folded katana sword if the ore is wielded by Miyamoto Musashi. Phantom Silver. By the way, I went all BB for Algerain meta. I'm mainly lacking in damage. Oh, okay. Oh, Mr. V has the name. Sasaki Kojiro was the dude who died. Okay. Sasaki Kojiro. I'm glad we know your story. R.I.P., my man. If you have enough time to fold a katana sword 1,000 times at the forge, you should not fold a katana sword 1,000 times at the forge. You should work on your sword technique. That is the lesson I have learned, and I know it cost you your life for me to learn that lesson, and that's why I'm thankful. R.I.P., my man. These lessons, some lessons cost somebody's life for the rest of humanity to learn, and you happen to be one of them, so you're still contributing a service. Dude spent all his points into smithing and nothing else. Marauder Shields, that's accurate. 100% accurate. When you have X amount of skill points, don't stuff them all into smithing. Put them into speed. Dang. Musashi was a guy not by any means you wanted to get on his nerves. Yeah, Musashi was basically like, you know what's funny is if you listen to some of the quotes from Musashi's book, he has a whole bunch of lines that basically say like, oh wait, this is the core of his philosophy that if I could sum it up into one giant go, it was basically do what works and do what wins above all else, and nothing else matters. So he was saying like, you as a, like, here's an example of this. So in his book, he says, as a warrior, you should not have a preference for any kind of weapon. You should have whatever you think will work best for whatever situation you are in. So have as many weapons as you need. But just like whatever you think it will give you the maximum performance. So he said too many weapons is the same as not enough. And I'm like, dang, that's some good philosophy. He also has quotes like, only focus on, basically, only focus on what matters and what you can change. Everything else that you cannot change should be out of your mind. And he said things like, the way of the warrior is resolute acceptance of death. So if you just accept that at any point in time you could have peace with the fact that you would die in battle, you will be essentially the perfect warrior. I'm like, this is all like, I could go deeper into some of the stuff I've read, but Miyamoto Musashi, I seriously think his philosophy should be taught in schools. Phantom Silver. I'll make sure to upgrade my gear for them and eventually put New Jersey into there once I get and upgraded the proper gear for her too. I gotta say, New Jersey? Okay, so, like I said, I'm biased. And it is also Independence Day. But Bismarck II does outdamage New Jersey. So if your max damage fleet, and I'm a little teed about that, just a tiny bit. But Bismarck II does outdamage New Jersey. But New Jersey now shines like at her best as a faction fleet lead. And in that role, she is still one of the best ships in all of Azur Lane. So I'm happy that she still has a purpose, and I use her for her purpose all the time. I'm just like, dang, the power creep finally got, at least for the top 3 ships you could put in a main fleet. Oh wait, actually, I'm about to use Bismarck's 5. By the way, I like this skin better than Bismarck's 5 skin. Like, look at this. So I have oathed both Bismarck and Bismarck's 5. And I moved this skin over because I bought this skin. And this is still my favorite Bismarck skin. And it's a live 2D. So I was like, I'm using this. This skin is still the best Bismarck skin in Azur Lane. I'm keeping it. Miyamoto Musashi was that background character, always philosophizing. And you think, what a nice guy. But then that one battle changes your viewpoints. Musashi apparently he had developed like like his own sort of sword style using 2 swords. And then in one duel, this is one story about Miyamoto Musashi that is kind of questionable, but you understand it. So in one duel, he was actually supposed to go up against a no joke, far superior swordsman to himself. Because there was one Japanese samurai who got he did not like the fact that Musashi had developed such a name for himself with his his two-handed, 2-sword style. So he challenges Musashi to a duel, and Musashi can't back down, because if he backs down, his name is trash. So he agrees to the duel, and what he does is, at the beginning of the fight, apparently there was like a split moment where there was like a referee equivalent, and the referee was supposed to basically count down and say fight. So before the referee can finish his countdown, Musashi runs over to the other guy and just beats him with his sword and runs. And everyone claimed, and the guy was crippled. Like, Musashi beat him so badly, he crippled the guy, and then he ran. And that's how Musashi won that duel. And here's the thing is, like, that was technically not an honorable duel, but to this day, no one knows that swordsman's name. But we all know Miyamoto Musashi's name now, don't we? It's like, you gotta think about it. Like, and that goes with his philosophy of do what works above all else. So I'm like, oh, there goes my phone. Hang on a second, I need to pick this up. Okay. That goes with his philosophy of do what works above all else, or do what wins above all else. And I'm like, I can't deny the philosophy of that man is clearly 100% on point. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I mean? Actually, you know, Mr. V says, actually, he was an insane swordsman. He had the skills too. What did I just pick? Oh, I'm getting a nice Meowfisser. Wait, what am I getting? Oh, that's good. I love those map 6 coordinates. Here we go. So Mr. B says, actually, he was an insane swordsman. He had the skills too. Just not as good as Musashi. Musashi would later say Kojiro was the best fight he ever had. Musashi messed with him by being 3 hours late. Wow. Do what works above all else. Oh, and here's one of the quotes. Noriko says, in all things in life have no preference. Miyamoto Musashi. Yeah, he had these lines like, basically, don't have a preference in anything. Fixation on anything in life is a weakness and will lead you to death. But you must be the best way to approach life is to be willing to accept and adapt to change. So basically, that was preference for any particular weapon was one of those things. So he said, if you think you would do better with like a bokken over, say, an actual katana, you should use the bokken. You should use the don't have any fixation on anything. The only fixation you should have on is victory. I'm like, gosh, why is this? I have learned more about life from Miyamoto Musashi than damn near every, I would say not every, but most high school and college classes I ever had to take. I did have some very good history professors, I must say. Like, I like my, yeah, I did have some very good teachers, now that I think about it. Especially history teachers. Okay, we cleared the whirlpool level quite nicely, actually. So there's 2 more whirlpools, and these give some of the best rewards. So I'm going to clear these out, too. And I'm going to use my Royal Navy fleet. Oh, whoops. I have more of these. Because my Royal Navy fleet has a heal. Go, Royal Navy fleet. I will unleash you now. Okay. Musashi then used the sunset to blind Kojiro to get the edge and kill him. Okay, Musashi is, yeah, remember what I said about his philosophy? Do whatever works and only focus on victory at all costs. No matter what. Yeah. That goes right with his philosophy. Musashi also said, do not fear the mistake you have made. Fear the mistakes you not have made yet. Okay, I have not heard that one. I like that one a lot. Do not fear the mistake you have made. Fear the mistakes you have not made yet. I love that one. Dang, I need to write that down somewhere. Okay, I really like that quote, Noriko. That's a good one. Marauder shields. Should I level up Bellona? Absolutely yes. She is the best. Okay, so out of all the ships with the air raid assistance skill, Bellona is both the most survivable ship, and air raid assistance needs the ship to stay alive for the skill to actually work. And B, most ships that have air raid assistance actually do very low damage. And Bellona is an exception because she does very good damage since she is a Ditto class cruiser. So I would say Bellona is highly recommended to level up Bellona. Yes. I leveled up my Bellona, and I've been using her since she was introduced. Absolutely. And also, she is top tier waifu material, although I'm more of a fan of long hair, but she has basically like that warrior physique. I like Bellona. I like Bellona a lot. One of my favorite HMS waifus, and also excellent support ship and damage dealer. That's all I'll say about that. Noriko, or this one of him, to become the enemy, see yourself as the enemy of the enemy. That is a good one too, yeah. Mr. B, if you have time and like Musashi, I would suggest Vagabond. It is a manga about him. Okay, I've heard the name of this manga, but I didn't know what it was about. Like, someone recommended this to me a while ago, but I had no idea what it was about, okay? The art in it is literally insane. Some of the best art in a manga just won't ever be finished. Oh, that's depressing. Dang. There's a lot of good mangas that, need to be finished. See, he also said a user of a sword is a spearman. The user of a gun is a gunman. And the user of a sword is a warrior, if I remember right. I haven't read 5 Rings in a long time. Or user of a spear. Okay. So the user of a spear is a spearman, the user of a gun is a gunman, and the user of a sword is a warrior. That's an interesting quote. Here's the thing is, I haven't read the whole book of 5 Rings. I just follow a YouTube channel that has repeatedly been showing portions of the book or not a YouTube channel, an Instagram channel that repeatedly has like a whole couple paragraphs from the book in one post. So I'll read it in portions, and the stuff I have read is like, the stuff I have read is incredible. I'm like, maybe I should actually just sit down and read the whole book all the way through. I'm pretty sure I could find the ebook on Amazon somewhere. So, Noriko, people always ask me, why do I love IJ and Musashi so much? And I just say, Miyamoto Musashi. Yeah, she is the namesake ship after him. Yeah, Musashi is, okay, here's the thing is, my favorite IJN ship is still Takeo, but Musashi is number 2. I don't know why. Takeo just hits right for me for some reason. Anyway. Marauder, because I'm thinking of copying your Royal Navy fleet for OpSci. Don't have Vanguard, though. Okay, if you don't have Vanguard, Queen Elizabeth. Because, okay, so here's the thing about... I was using Queen Elizabeth in this fleet when I did not have Vanguard. And I was also using Unicorn when I did not have Implacable. But Queen Elizabeth buffs the reload of your carriers. And your carriers, every launch they do does a heal. So your fleet will heal faster with Queen Elizabeth instead of Vanguard. And it basically, using Queen Elizabeth, Perseus, and Unicorn together basically makes your Royal Navy fleet immortal. I was like, oh my goodness. I didn't even need to use like the little rewards at the end that you get from each battle in OpSci to heal my fleets. Because my Royal Navy fleet was able to clear all the way through. Can you use Warspite Retro, Mr. Wayne? I could actually. You know what's funny? Here's the thing about Warspite Retrofit is when I was trying to clear chapter 14, I found out that Warspite Retrofit can actually fit or mount an anti-submarine plane. Like the Swordfish or the Avenger anti-subplane into one of our auxiliary gear slots. And you absolutely need one of those to auto clear World 14. So I was like, dang, Warspite Retrofit is incredibly useful in this zone. Saito Stockman. Welcome, Saito Stockman. How are you today? Also, Sneaky Snick. How are you today, by the way, on this awesome 4th of July? Oh, Saito Stockman says, Happy 4th, Gojushin-sama OG. Why, thank you. Marauder Shields was thinking Queen Elizabeth or Unicorn. Yeah, see, that's a good mix right there. Queen Elizabeth buffs the reload of Unicorn and Perseus, so your heals will all like happen rapidly fast. That's how you make the Royal Navy fleet immortal. See, Mike 992, Duke of York works too. Also true. Duke of York is an excellent ship there too. Saito Stockman, how about Ark Royal? Okay, Ark Royal is a very good damage dealer. She falls behind Implacable definitely, so if you have Implacable, I would use her instead of Ark Royal. And then if you're going solely for heals, I would use Perseus and Unicorn. But Ark Royal is still very good. Yeah, I could see Ark Royal still being an option. Anyway. See, Unicorn is a good ship, deserves a spot in your mob fleet. Okay, my laptop did that thing where it clocked out and came back in again. I've accepted that as just periodic. Okay, so Vagabond was written by Takehiko Uno, a famous mangaka who got burned out. There are 37 volumes of it out. Wow. Okay, so basically Vagabond is something that you're saying you've sold me Vagabond. I'm gonna go find this manga and take a look-see. Sneaky Snick, I'm good, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Mr. V, the subplane on Warspite is historical. She used in at Narvik and sunk a sub with her plane. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, wait, Warspite Retrofit can mount anti-subplanes? I'm using her on World 14. I'm going to have her at the backline flagship right alongside Unicorn and Perseus. And together, those three ships are going to, both kill subs and kill my Vanguard fleet. And my Vanguard fleet is going to be Plymouth, Bologna, and at the time Sirius, but now I would use Scylla. Scylla is a total improvement over Sirius. It's ridiculous. Saito Stockman, good. We have nice weather in Pacific Northwest today. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. You'll have very nice weather to see the fireworks. Sneaky Snick, I'm pretty new to your channel and found some War Thunder videos of yours. Are you new at that game? I might be able to help in case you are. I have been playing, I wouldn't say I'm new. I've been playing War Thunder for a while, but I will say this. I'm most of what my playing has been was always air, like, fighters in particular. So I'm excellent at fighters. Tanks for me, I'm still, okay, I grinded the Russian line. I wouldn't say I'm like a veteran when it comes to the tankers. I did grind the Russian line up to the T-80 BVM. But at the same time, I have realized that the American tank line is terrible. Oh, actually, you know what's funny? I looked this up, and apparently the devs for War Thunder hate American tanks. Did you guys know this? So the devs for War Thunder are anti-American when it comes to tanks. So, get this, they introduced a new premium called the M1 KVT. Now, this tank in reality, and this is supposed to be like every country is supposed to get a premium tank at a certain BR that's close to top tier. And I was excited for the M1 KVT because it was supposed to be the American tank at this BR. And this was the tank you're supposed to use to grind out the top BR. Like, this is an important tank. And each of the major countries only gets one. And our tank was watered down. Because, so in reality, I'm about to vent right now about War Thunder. So in reality, the KVT was an M1A1, and that means it had a 120 millimeter gun. But in War Thunder, they gave it the old, and this is not historically accurate by any means at all whatsoever. They gave it the old 105 millimeter gun that the first Abrams was introduced with when it came into the US Army. And the Abrams KVT is an actual historical based tank that was used to simulate Soviet tanks. So the devs at War Thunder intentionally and historically inaccurately watered down literally the most important premium tank in War Thunder. They're anti-American. I know they're Russians. So, I mean, it's not like I can expect them to, you know, be pro-American or anything like that. And I was never expecting pro-American. I was expecting Russian bias, to be fair. But I was not expecting them to be anti-American. Is it too much to ask, to be fair? Oh, and also, get this. Apparently, there's a term for this, and it's the opposite of the Russian bias. It's called the USA tax. And that's when you're playing a military game, and they do the inverse for the USA of what they do for the Russians. So, and almost every major military game has some Russian bias. So War Thunder is clear on Russian bias. World of Tanks has a bit of World of Tanks has some Russian bias. Let's be honest, it does. And then Azur Lane has Russian bias when it comes to the Northern Parliament guns, but the USA tax is the opposite of the Russian bias. So if you have an American vehicle, that vehicle is either watered down, or if it is good, it is so insanely expensive to repair that playing it long term is impractical, at least without buying a premium account. So I'm bitter at War Thunder. I just learned that from a video I watched about, let me see, 10 hours ago. Not that I'm counting, but I kind of am. I'm always counting, but you know what I mean. War Thunder. What is wrong with you? You do, like, this is literally the most, I would argue that the top tier premium tank for every faction is the most important tank in War Thunder, because that's the tank you're going to use the most to grind out, and that's the only tank we're spending money on. And they basically watered down and, you know, trashed on the American tank and made it inferior to all the other tanks in War Thunder. I'm mad at War Thunder. All right, I'm glad I got that out. Where was I at? Okay, where was I at in the chat today? Let me see. Okay, y'all are talking about your, oh, here we go. I run Cytostockman. I run Perseus, Unicorn together in the same fleet and Opsai, so I've never had to heal them unless it's a super boss. Fair. Enrico, I'm thinking of replacing the Royal Navy fleet with an Italian fleet to change. Oh, I already read that one. I try Perseus, Implacable, Unicorn. The heals are preloaded anyway, and air raid assistance will buff the whole back line. That is true. Perseus, Implacable, and Unicorn. That's true. I'm wondering if the heals is enough to compensate for any suicide boats that might try and damage your backline. Usually you might want a battleship back there, but I mean, who knows? That might. Let me know how that works out. I'm curious. Mr. V, just go with a Mafia fleet. US plus Italy. Noriko, I stay with Sirius. I don't know. I just love my tippy maid that loves to fall down. Okay, so Sirius is top tier waifu material. I can't argue with you, Noriko. Sirius is top tier waifu material. It's true. It's true. She is to me a little bit more waifu material than Scylla. A lot more waifu material than Scylla, if I'm being honest. Okay. Marauder Shields, he sure is new to naval. Noriko, we need USS Al Capone and the ultimate pasta fleet is born. Wait, was there a USS Al Capone? That would be insane. That ship would be gangster as if there was an actual USS Al Capone historically. See, Marauder Shields, Gaijin mainly hate French tanks for the longest time. Sneaky Snick. They nerfed the M41A1 Walker Bulldog's turret speed, which isn't, I'm guessing you mean historical or balanced. I'm currently on 6.7. USA, trust me, it gets way better at this tier, but you do face ATGMs. Oh, crap. See, I'm at 6.0, right? Because I just got the Walker Bulldog tank. I just got the M41 Walker Bulldog, and right now, that's actually my favorite USS tank. See, here's the thing is, I'm not sure I'm going to actually, like, I will have to buy all the tanks on the line to get the Abrams. I'm not sure I'm going to actually crew them, though, or use them. I think I'm just going to grind them, buy them, and keep the Walker Bulldog tank as my lead tank and the current setup I have for a long time, because I can tell the U.S. faction has been absolutely trashed in War Thunder, with the exception of the Walker Bulldog tank is still good. But I looked up I just recently watched some videos on War Thunder on how to play U.S. tanks, and almost all of them said that the devs at War Thunder basically intentionally nerfed U.S. tanks and made it so that in some spots, almost each of them are one-hit kills. And I was like, you mean to tell me they have anti-U.S. bias? Why should I keep playing this game? They did all right with the fighters, to be fair. Like, American planes are correctly balanced in War Thunder, but tanks, come on. I'm upset at War Thunder. I'm going to go on a rant. I'll go on another rant if I'm not careful. Anti-U.S. biased War Thunder. Anyway, Noriko says, I play War Thunder just to get blown up in my Tiger H1 because I suck. I don't know. That one, I mean, if you practice, you'll be good. Anyone can be good if they practice. Sneaky Snick, how do you unironically get trashed in a Tiger? The Tiger is actually, to me, the most, like, I would say, okay, out of all the tanks in War Thunder, to me, the Tiger is the best for its BR. Like, that tank is the best tank to play if you want to win and get kills, at least from what I have seen so far. Marauder Shield 6.7 USA Heavies are my favorite, especially T-34. I've been hearing good things about the T-34. And Menroth retracted his message. Well, welcome to the stream, Menroth. I did not see your message. Mr. V, I actually re-downloaded War Thunder this morning, working at trying to do a bit of grinding to get the CW21 from the China tree. CW21 is closest thing to a US-0. Huh. Yeah, for me, planes, like War Thunder's like, I would say top shtig is their planes. It's like one of the best aircraft combat games around. It actually, in my opinion, is probably like the most fun air combat game around right now. Like, no one's been able to really beat them at that yet. And when it comes to like being a combat flight simulator and being realistic. Because there is the actual, like, combat flight simulator. It's just not as fun as War Thunder. It's more realistic, though, for damn sure. There's plenty of games more realistic, But if you want to balance realistic with fun, War Thunder, to me, their air combat is like second to none in that regard. With that, into regard to achieving that balance. See, Sneaky Snick, want to hear my recommendation? Yes, I do, actually. I'm all open to recommendations while I grind the US line of War Thunder. See, get the T-26E5. It has stupid armor and a decent 90mm gun, which has access to good APCR. Might want to go for the T-92 if you want a really flat tank. The T-92 doesn't appeal to me that much because I like to move fast. But I will take that T-26E5 into consideration. I've noticed there's a lot of people that recommended both the T-34 and the T-26E5 while grinding the American line. So I'm like, these are the only two tanks I'm actually excited to kind of get. And even then, apparently, if you're facing ATGMs, I'm like, to me, I might actually grind that whole rank on the US tech tree faster just by keeping my current lineup with my Walker Bulldog tank as my top tank at, you know, BR 6.0. Here's the thing, I almost spent money on the KVT because I was like, oh, so this is what I need to grind further, because I absolutely, there is no way I would have grinded to the T80 BVM, at least not in any reasonable amount of time, if I did not buy the T72 Terms, which is the Russian line of their most important premium tank. The thing is, the T72 Terms is actually really good. It's balanced. It's like the good at everything but master of nothing tank in War Thunder. So I thought the KVT was going to get the same treatment. And if it had a 120mm gun, which, keep in mind, the tanks at its BR almost all have 120mm guns. It was such a crime. It's such a crime what War Thunder did to the KVT. I had high hopes for this tank. I was willing, for a split moment, I was willing to spend $66 on this tank. And then I read up on it, and I was like, War Thunder, you anti-US bias bastards. Okay. Mr. V, I like to play arcade air, so realism isn't important to me. Arcade air, okay, in terms of fast action, arcade air is definitely better. Air realistic gives you a lot more rewards. Like, you get 3 times the amount of rewards for a single kill in air realistic as you would in regular air arcade. So that's one of the reasons I play air realistic. But arcade, in terms of just getting to the action and it being fast and fun, air arcade is pretty much... I understand being in air arcade. It makes sense to me. Marauder, USA is my second favorite nation. So far, I've played every nation to like a mid-tier, so I only have experience there. Every tank is an AA, because Roof 50 cal, and USA ships are just broken OP. I have not really gotten that deep into the naval combat in War Thunder yet. I really should. Oh, there goes my phone again. Hang on a second. I've got to stop dropping this puppy. Anyway. Where was I at? Okay, here we go. Marauder. War Thunder USA is a great fight, man. I gotta say, I'm like, dang, because now I think about it, you absolutely, okay, if you don't buy a premium account, in order to grind top tier in any reasonable amount of time that doesn't take years to actually climb the tech tree of the top tier, you absolutely should buy a premium vehicle. And I'm like, the KVT is not, well, the KVT is the best thing that they have going. And I still don't feel like buying it, because it feels like I'm supporting the anti-US bias. I may just stop playing tanks in War Thunder altogether. That's how upset I am at what they did to the KVT. I may just stop playing US tanks altogether. I'm going to switch back to the Russian tanks. And save my money. I'll never buy a premium account on War Thunder ever again. At least not until they fix the KVT. Sneaky Snake. Too long didn't read. The T-26E5 is basically a jumbo with an alright gun and fast reload. T-34, on the other hand, is a decently armored tank with a massive 120mm cannon. Very slow reload, though. See, both of those sound useful. I can work with those. I either play the US or Italian airlines mostly. The IAR-80 in the Italian line, Romanian premium fight, looks so cool, but never used it because it is premium. Nurga says, oh gee, how about we both play some US tanks till we have Amramsum 3? Do you mean Abrams? Or Amramsum 2? Do you mean Abrams? Amramsa 2. What is Amramsa 2? Shuttle Killer, vote with your wallet, my guy. That is exactly my plan. Exactly, Shuttle Killer. I always vote with my wallet. I'm like, until the KVT is upgraded in some way to what it should be, which is an M1A1, I don't think I'm going to spend any money on War Thunder. Ever. That is the trashiest thing you could have done to the US tank faction in that game. Or tank tree line in that game. And it was the most important tank. Anyway, a Marauder Shields. Honestly, you can't feel how bad all the nations are until you play them and suffer from their disadvantages. Well, okay, get this. So you want to know another thing about the Abrams KVT? The M1 KVT is the most. So, like I said, it's the most important tank in any faction. It can be one-shot killed by virtually all the other tanks at its BR, and it's an Abrams. That's how bad the armor is on that tank. That is criminal. I read up the reviews on. I saw an in-depth review on it, and basically the Abrams KVT, even at distance, cannot compete with any tank at its BR. Like, if you wanted to balance the tank, it should have been either a lower BR or it should be an M1A1 and have, well, you know, what it should historically be, and have the 120mm gun and better armor. This is what happens when you're a fan of War Thunder and War Thunder hates your country. See, Noriko, Abrams to A2. Okay. So you'd be willing to try and grind some US tanks with me. You know, shared misery is better than lonesome misery. I agree with this principle. I just don't know if I'm going to grind, because I know eventually I'm going to have to either buy a premium account or buy a premium tank to grind further up the USA line. And I'm like, I need to write the devs in War Thunder. I need to file a formal complaint. I'm going to get some actual, you know, administrative paperwork together and do this the right way. Be like, hey, War Thunder, I don't like what you did with the KVT. Here's why. It's historically inaccurate. I happen to know what I'm talking about. It was my specialty at my university. Anyway. Sneaky Snake, do you have any advice for playing with the 50 cal Corsair? CAS on ground is so bad, and US SBAA is hard to use, so I'm forced to play planes in ground realistic battles. Okay, so here's the trick to the Corsair. The 50 cals is not... well, here's the thing is, I actually don't use the 50 caliber Corsairs in ground realistic battles. I use the 20mm armed Corsairs. So the F4U A1 or 8C model, or the F4U B. I think it's called the 1B. So basically, there's 2 Corsairs that have 20 millimeters, and my recommendation would be get those. Otherwise, the 50 caliber Corsair is not that good at close air support. I've used it purely as a fighter when I was in, and I would always equip it with bombs if the bombs were available, because the bombs are what you're going to use to attack ground targets. But when you are only armed with 50 cals, you're better off just searching for other planes and trying to take them out. Unless there is a vehicle that is just so lightly armored that you can just shoot it with 50 cal. See, Marauder shields, but I'm glad I don't care for top tier. See, Noriko, OG shows us the reaction when in a game US is not good. Marauder, angry freedom noises. Hardcore angry freedom noises. You are both right. Exactly. It's not so much that they're not good, it's that they're not historically accurate. It's like it was intentionally anti-bias against US. I'm like, oh, come on. Our tanks are like, especially our modern top tier Cold War tanks. The Abrams is a damn good tank. It shouldn't be one shot killed from all these other tanks. Like at least at that BR. I'm like, oh my God, guys. This was clear anti-US bias. And it came from one of my favorite military games ever that was famous for historical accuracy. I will be unleashing angry freedom noises the rest of this stream about War Thunder. I'm kidding. I want not the rest of this stream, but sure enough, War Thunder did the USA dirty in the ground combat area. Marauder shields, and yeah, USA close air support is probably the best in the game. Yeah, we do have some good close air support aircraft. But our tanks should be at least better. Just a little bit better. Enrico says, wait, how much does the Abrams cost? I just looked. It's a modern looking Abrams. I want it now. Oh, so here's the thing about the Abrams KVT. It is a modern looking Abrams because there's a little button you can just turn off in the modifications. And when you click on it, because it has visual modifications that are supposed to make it look like a Soviet tank, because it was a tank used again, like to mimic Soviet tanks in the exercises. But if you just push that button, it removes all those modifications and makes it a regular Abrams tank. And it looks like a regular Abrams tank. But it has, the thing is, it absolutely should be in M1A1 and not in M1. And it should have a 120 millimeter gun. And there's no reason it shouldn't have the 120 millimeter gun, because if you added it to the tank, that would actually, at its BR, the 120 millimeter gun would actually balance it out completely. Like, it would be on par with every other tank there. Maybe the armor is, okay, maybe the armor needs a little bit of a buff too for it to be fully balanced. But, the 100, if it just had a 120 millimeter gun, it would be decently balanced. It would be usable as long as you treat it as a light tank. War Thunder is criminal to me. That is the most important tank in the tech tree for each country. Like Germany's Leopard 2, I think it's the Leopard 2 A4. That's their equivalent premium tank. Their equivalent premium tank, it beats out the KVT in like literally every area. And the T-72 Terms, which is their equivalent tank, is like well balanced enough. Like the reload is slow because it's an autoloader, but it's well balanced enough so that it does not Gosh, it's just so much better balanced at its BR. It's strange. I feel like War Thunder betrayed me. Like they stabbed me in the back somehow. I have been a loyal player of War Thunder for a long time. I spent money on War Thunder. And they did me dirty. They did my country dirty. See, you can even pen Panther Roof with 50 cals if you vertical dive. I have wounded a Panther's engine on a vertical dive with armor piercing 50 cal. That made me feel very good, actually. Oh, Sneeko says, let's see. Oh no, I also used the F4U4 50 cal Corsair to kill close air support planes to get revenge to protect my team from that BS. I also have HVAR rockets in them to kill enemy SPA to make it easier. That's not a bad use of that Corsair. That's a good use of that Corsair, actually. That's about some of the best you could get out of it. Oh, I'm going to activate one of these mini bosses. I can finally take... Oh, I'm going to activate the mini boss. Take my subs. Wait, so the Abrams KVT is not in US tree. Okay, so I don't care. I want freedom, Abrams. America. Okay, I'm actually... Okay, I'm trying to fight one of these early bosses so quickly. Might be actually risky. So I'm going to bring my subs. Maximum fleet damage. It's a light armor. Okay, light armor boss. Actually, no. My entire backline is configured to kill this boss. Never mind, it'll be fine. Okay, let me see how this turns out. Oh, they are killing this boss. They are murdering this boss. And this is the Rainbow Siren boss. I almost feel bad for the Rainbow Siren boss. Just kidding, I don't. I hate these things. They all need to die. And they need to give me all the rewards that they get. Oh, this might be over in one go. This might be over in one go. Oh yeah, it's over. Good shooting, New Jersey. With that fast reload from my carriers. I love that. There we go. Okay, Sneaky Snake. Want to know something you can do while you get an easy 10k Silver Lions? You can use the Swedish HE launcher and then squad up with a friend who plays high tier, then kill some IFVs for God mode rewards. I see. This is interesting. I need to take this into consideration. That's a good amount of Silver Lions introduced rapidly fast. 10k Silver Lion rookie numbers. It's decent if you're strapped for cash. Like, okay, if you're strapped for cash, for me, the thing is, if you have a premium vehicle, you will get those Silver Lions very quickly. But yeah, if you have no premium vehicles, that sounds like a decent approach. It's also probably cost effective. Like in terms of repair cost, that is. See, I wait also for modern Leopard 2A5 premium tank. I love modern looking tanks. I happen to love modern looking tanks as well. Another light armor boss. Operation Siren is a fan of light armor bosses for me, and my US fleet is like configured to kill these. It's almost like they're handing me lunch. Thank you. Delicious. I just had probably the worst hour of my life. My PlayStation, which I'm watching the stream on, decided to stop working right. It's working now. Oh no. Dang. Marauder Shields, it's funny to teach modern technology that high caliber HE just eats through everything. That's true. You know, it's funny that, like, so in the war in Ukraine right now, they basically said that while tanks have wanted to, like, in the tank-to-tank duels that have occurred, using a Sabo round is good, but they said using HE was actually just as good, because if you got a hit, sure, you might not kill the tank immediately, like it might not pen the armor, but the amount of damage that the HE, or you know, the heat round does to all the tank systems would cripple it in one shot. So I was like, it doesn't, the thing is, for a Sabo round, you absolutely need to aim to hit a critical point, but for a heat round, you could hit it almost anywhere, and the tank is screwed. Like, the crew will survive, and they'll probably, you know, just climb out of the tank and run. But because if you hit them with a Sabo in the right spot, you'll probably kill the crew. But they said one HE round basically has been crippling tanks in the Ukraine war. Yeah, who knew? Do you think Helena is viable in PvP? Okay, here's the thing about Helena. I've stopped using her in PvP, mainly because okay, I don't like the fact her skill is temperamental, but now there's so many ships that have an early airstrike or an early barrage that hits before Helena's skill is going to activate. And in order to maximize Helena, you need to sync your entire fleet, or your entire backline, really, to launch or fire when her skill activates. So, like me now in PvP, this is actually my USS fleet here that you see. This is the fleet I'm using in PvP, and that's because so Stephen Potter is not temperamental. Her skill activates 100% of the time, which is air raid assistance, and then Independence has an early airstrike of her own. And it's not instantaneous, but she, with these Hellcat, rocket-mounted Hellcats, it will absolutely decimate the Vanguard very quickly, very early in the PvP match. So I've stopped using Helena, and she is viable, yes, but you need some way of keeping your fleet. You need some way for your fleet to survive until her skill launches. So maximum durability. I once killed a T-54 with that thing before. It was funny as hell. Nebula. Welcome, Nebula. How are you on this fine 4th of July? Hey, how do you tell if a boss is light armor, heavy armor, etc.? Oh, by the type of ship. Okay, so here, I'll show you right now. Okay, so is this a heavy cruiser? I'll show you right now, Nebula. Okay, so see this ship? I'm about to enter the boss fight. I'm going to enter the boss fight. And then it will show you on the near the health bar of the boss what type of ship it is. So here we go. Right. Okay, so see right here, this little like air-to-air, it shows like the plus sign with the two guns. That's the symbol for a heavy cruiser. Heavy cruisers are medium armor. So if it had this symbol without the plus sign, that's a light cruiser. Light cruisers are light armor. And if it had the torpedoes, that's a destroyer. Destroyers are light armor. But if it has the battleship guns, battleships are heavy armor. But also battle cruisers are medium armor. And you need to just know which ships those are that are battle cruisers. But battle cruisers are medium armor. And then carriers are also medium armor, typically. There are some exceptions to those too. Like Taiho is a heavy armor enemy. So in World 13, when you fight Taiho, you want to configure your fleet to kill heavy armor. See, Marauder shields. Imagine how loud it is to be inside a tank that gets shot by 120 millimeter HE. Oh, I don't know. You probably would go deaf. I imagine some veterans have some severe tinnitus from, just one shot of HE to their tank. Severe tinnitus. Let me see. Okay, am I forgetting any of these other Zone 6s? Yes, I am. This one has to go. Dude, you just reminded me when Ukrainian troops mistook a Russian tank as a Ukrainian one and then got shot by its HE at point-blank range. Very unfortunate. Dang. That's a terrible way to go, man. I have actually been watching some like videos of like tank-to-tank combat in Ukraine. And what I've noticed is a lot of times when a tank is hit with a sabot round, the round will go through the vehicle, destroy a bunch of systems in that tank, and the crew will actually survive, and they'll all climb out of the tank and run from the vehicle. Like there's one video of a Ukrainian T-80, T-84, I think, that ambushes a Russian BMP. I think it's a BMP-2M. So it ambushes the BMP-2M and it hits it from the side at point-blank range with what I think was a sabot round. It looked like a sabot round. So you see the tank gets hit, a bunch of flames and smoke start coming out of its side, and then you see the hatch opens and the crew all climb out of the tank and then they run to safety. And I'm like, wow, even at point-blank range, a whole crew survived. I was like, armored vehicles, everyone was kind of knocking armored vehicles for getting taken out so easily, but their ability to keep crews alive has actually not gone down as much as I think people thought it has. Yeah, because everyone thought like, oh, the anti-tank missile is going to kill all these tanks. The tank is useless. And what you'll find is an anti-tank missile can actually, a lot of times they'll hit a tank and they will knock out the tank, but the tank crew will survive and then they'll just run to safety and go grab another tank and get back into the fight. I guess tanks are more useful than... The tanks are once again more useful than people thought they were. Oh, see, Noriko, I need people to play War Thunder to talk to and just play with. Nebula, doing good, man. Second time I'm catching your stream. Hope you are doing well. I am doing very well. You say, I see. Got it, thanks. So, Shuttle Killer, you can get hearing loss just doing basic training, never mind on deployment. You know, I have heard that about Army tankers, is like when they're getting out and they're doing their whole like service-connected disability benefits paperwork, almost all of them apply for tinnitus, and they get tested for tinnitus, and almost all of them have it. I was like, really? It's that bad? Dang. Oh, and also, not to mention this, so in a tank, apparently the seats are uncomfortable, and in an Abrams, the Abrams is just the most comfortable tank, but the seats still, they don't have like any shocks really, or any like solid cushion. So when you are in a tank for a long period of time and you're sitting in the seat and the tank is running over like rough, rugged ground and you're bouncing on it a lot, that can mess up your back. So a lot of tankers apply for back disability, and a lot of times they get it. Because I did not know this. Being a tanker now sounds a lot less appealing than I once thought it did. Not to mention, Russian tanks are the notoriously, like, Russian tanks are notorious for being uncomfortable. Let's see. Do you have a strategy or routine for clearing the outside map? Okay, usually my strategy is this. Get the HMS fleet, get 2 healers, namely Perseus and Unicorn. Get a lineup of Plymouth, Bellona, and Scylla, and have either Vanguard or Queen Elizabeth as flagship, and just hit the clear button give them all max gear, and they will clear the whole map for you, and they will heal themselves so you don't lose any coins when you're doing it. Maybe not any coins, but very little coins. Sneaky Snick. Turkey has modernized its M60 tanks once again, and it's so sexy and good looking at the same time. Really, I need to see this. Turkish M60. Let me search this up. What did they do? How does it look? Oh, okay, the M60T is, I think this is the tank you're talking about. Yeah, it's actually a pretty solid, yeah, that's a pretty sexy looking tank, actually. It looks like a tank from a sci-fi movie. Okay. And it has I see a version with reactive armor plates all over it. This looks like a tank that rolled right out of a sci-fi movie, actually. Wow. Okay, Turkey. I see what you're working with. Marauder shields. Yeah, if you shoot a sabot at the paper-thin BMP side, it won't create too many shrapnels. No armor is best armor. I'm sure the crews of those BMPs would agree. HMS Anson. Remember how me and my friend who has a mouse decided to test it against a Horo Japanese self-propelled gun that fires a nasty HE round, and it killed the mouse somehow. Horo is king of HE. A nasty HE round does not sound like a good thing to get hit by. HMS Anson, did you hit it on its turret? I'm guessing you penetrate the hole's roof and then overpressure it. See, the new Russian tank was made with an engine based on the World War II Panther tank. See, Sneaky Snake, Mr. V, that's untrue. See, HMS Anson, yeah, hit it on the turret cheek. I think it was the right side. Huh. Okay, I don't know the true answer to this. Let's see. Captain Temple. Oh, I am sorry. Haha, I meant clearing the overworld. Do you prioritize certain zones over others in the interest of time? I notice you're doing the corners. Yes, I do, because here's the thing. Corrosive level 6, corrosive level 5, and corrosive level 4 are the only zones that have a chance of giving you gold parts. And gold parts are my priority when I clear Operation Siren. Like right now, what I really want is enough gold parts to upgrade the second New Jersey gun I got, the Mark 7, up to plus 13. Because I have it at plus 11, but I need a lot more gun parts, or gold gun parts, to upgrade it. And then I'll have 2 New Jersey guns at plus 13. That is a lot of firepower. Nebula, I've been playing the game for 2 months now, and I'm struggling just to get enough fleet tech points to unlock anchorage, never mind the blueprints. Not even anywhere close to unlocking FGG, a gear, and Plymouth. I know, that's a grind, yeah. Yeah, a lot of that is just grinding. Good luck, my man. Sneaky Snake. Turkish M60s have a lot of ERA on them because they're mainly used to fight insurgents in Syria and Iraq. Yeah, that makes sense. I remember Turkey actually sent some leopards in to fight ISIS, and like I think the Kurds also. And yeah, the leopards got they got taken out by ATGMs. So it's sort of like if you have, it makes sense that they would want to add explosive reactive armor to almost all their tanks. At least I think Turkey was fighting ISIS. I'm not sure. I remember there was a dispute because they hate the Kurds and ISIS was fighting the Kurds. So for a while, Turkey was like, "I'm not intervening." I'll need to read up on that. Who got in a fight with those leopard tanks? I think it was the Kurds. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Noriko, how you know OG has top chat on instead of live chat? Filters messages and sees not all. Wait. Okay, I need to go back and change that then. So it automatically goes to live chat is what you're, or top chat is what you're saying. Let me enter this. See. Okay. Noriko, how do you know OG has top chat? I switched it to live chat just now. So, okay, it should be on live chat. I don't want to filter the messages. At least not right now. I don't have anyone crazy in here. Okay. Shuttle Killer, nice, got my 5th bidder. The sub update was much needed. Whoops, I did not mean to click that. You say ISIS and Kurds destroyed Turkish Leos with Russian ATGMs. Yes, the Leo 2 does not have good ammo protection. Okay, that's what it was. I remember reading something on that. I'm like, it's been a while. It's been years since I read up on that. Oh, and Russian ATGMs have apparently, I remember they got pretty good lately. Well, I have oil to spare, at least. See, top tanks in the world. P1, Abrams and Leopard 2. P2, Challenger. P3, Leclerc. You know, here's the thing. I think the T90MS might, or not T90MS, the T90M might be at least on par with the Leclerc, maybe better than it. Captain Tim, oh shoot, I never realized higher corrosion levels meant more gold plate drops. I only focused on doing higher level hidden zones and Abyssal zones. Yeah, I want the gold plate drops because I absolutely want to upgrade my New Jersey gun, as well as a bunch of other stuff, but mainly my New Jersey gun. I'm also trying to collect enough gold plates for any kind of Rainbow UR plane that is introduced, because I'm waiting on a UR fighter, and I'm wondering if it's going to be the ME-262, because we don't have a UR fighter yet. Or you know what it could be? It could be the, what was it? Something 50? The Japanese copy of the ME-262? I forget what it was called. I think, was it called the KA-50? The Kai-50 or something like that? I need to look this up. But it has a 50 caliber gun as its main air-to-air armament. And in War Thunder, it slaps. That gun is no joke. Why Abrams and Leo on P1? The tanks are pretty much the same and too close, and the gun is German Rheinmetall too, so too close to really compare. Shuttle Killer, did you get the second New Jersey gun? How did that work out with the re-one? I did get the second New Jersey gun, and it is beautiful. It worked out beautifully. I don't have the gold parts to upgrade it to plus 13, but I will get those eventually. Nebula, do you have any suggestions on which PR/DR ship I should focus on after I get Anchorage? Okay, in my opinion, the most game-changing and best DR ship is Plymouth. Plymouth should be the top priority. Outside of Plymouth, I would say if you use a German fleet, get FDG. And at the beginning, the most useful is Monarch. So when it comes to overall usefulness, go for Monarch. Captain Temple, I feel like I'm never going to have enough gold main gun plates. That is exactly how I feel. These gold main gun plates are invaluable. UR could be the shittin'. The Japanese so love that strange plane. Huh. Yeah. I could see that too. I would accept that as a Japanese or as a Rainbow UR fighter. It's like, it's not what I want, but it's acceptable. But what I really want is the ME-262. PvP will suffer for that second New Jersey gun. Exactly, Shuttle Killer. Exactly. Yeah, Eagle Union really needs another good USS battleship, because New Jersey's battleship buff only applies to USS battleships. That's why I'm like, please either retrofit or give an extremely powerful augment to New Jersey, or not New Jersey, to North Carolina or Washington. Then I could have a fleet with just one carrier, 2 insanely powerful battleships, and 2 New Jersey guns for each of those battleships. The J9 and Kaika. That's the plane I was thinking of, actually. The copy of the ME-262. Looks like the ME-262, but it has 2 30mm cannons, not 2 50 cals. So you might think about something else. There's a plane that has a 50mm gun, not a 50 caliber. It is a 50mm cannon. And I think it's a version of the Kaika. Oh, gee. You have again top chat on. Oh, crap. Okay, I'm going to go over here and change this. I thought I switched it. Gun, not a 50 caliber. It is a 50 millimeter cannon. Okay, so I believe I have turned it to live chat now. Okay, there we go. Thank you for pointing that out to me, Noriko. Let's see, Sneaky Snake, in case you haven't made a DD tier list, I guess, yet, do you think Chang Chung retrofit would make it in the top 10? I do believe I made a DD tier list, and I do believe Chang Chung was in the top 10. Yeah, she was. Shuttle Killer. Ooh, Washington retrofit. That's what I want. I want a Washington retrofit. Lunar sup? Yes, what's up, Lunar? How are you today on this fine 4th of July? Shuttle Killer, get rid of that useless skill. That's the thing that annoys me about Washington. Why is her skill only tied to, like, you know, South Dakota? She should have an anti-battleship skill and an anti-destroyer skill because she sank Ayanami also. Like, I want her augment to just have, like, I don't know, this ship deals 40% more damage to battleships and destroyers. Bam. Instant fix. The UR could be the FH Phantom, a jet fighter used by the US and test flown during World War II. Well, here's the thing, Mr. V. I actually think that they would be more likely to use a naval version of the P-80 Shooting Star if it's going to be a UR US fighter. So the US Navy saw that Germany had a bunch of jets, and they took the P-80 Shooting Star and they tested it, taking off and landing on an aircraft carrier during World War II, specifically to see if they could use it to intercept a German jet-powered aircraft. And they successfully landed it and took it off. They had it take off and land from an aircraft carrier. So I think they might go with the P-80, like a navalized version of the P-80. See, Marauder shields. Oh, the 50 millimeter. That's the ME-262 A1U4. I was talking about it here once. Yeah, isn't there a Kaika with, like, a version of the Kaika with a 50 millimeter? There's one in War Thunder. See, I talk about your phone, OG, as you read the chat from there. Oh, I can change it from here. Okay, here we go. I changed it in the phone too. It said all, and so now it says all messages. Okay. Thank you, Noriko, because I had no idea. Shoot. Sneaky Snake. I'll check that out then. See you later, buddy. Take it easy, Sneaky Snake. Mr. V. More useless skill, Washington or Portland. See, Portland shines in the early game. Well, like, because when you first get her raw stats will save your Vanguard from a lot of hell and misery. But yeah, Washington's skill needs a revamp. Washington herself needs some kind of revamp. You refer them R as Kremlins. It gets censored? The Phantom, the PH Phantom was a naval jet fighter. Okay. Noriko, I have to say RU because OG reads messages on phone. He never switches to live chat on phone. Oh, I switched it to live chat on the phone just now. Sorry about that. Mr. V, FH, Lunar IC. RU is Russian, and the word Russian or anything related to that gets pulled away from the top chat. Wow, okay. Interesting. Noriko says T90 is Russian. RU proved more shine than anything. Sorry, nah, Russian technology is just trash. I don't think the T90 is anything close to Leclerc. The T90M, in terms of like actual practical usability, it does have, like, you know, I don't know. The T90M it looks like a solid tank to me. And so far, since the war has been going on, Russia has actually increased production of T90Ms. So apparently they like the tank. So Portland was great when World 13 was endgame even, but the skill that requires her sister is so worthless. I agree. I agree 100%. Marauder shields. I know nothing about any Kaika having 50mm. Even regular Kaika only had 2 prototypes. Hang on a second. Let me dig into War Thunder. The War Thunder wiki. Okay, see, Kaika has 30mm cannons. Really, there's no other version of the Kaika. Maybe I'm thinking of a different jet then. Dang, okay. Okay, the Kaika in War Thunder only has 30mm. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I'm like, I don't see it. Actually, I'll just Control F this. Okay, nope. Never mind. I guess not. How about that? Marauder shields, but the German Me-262A1 U4 is in War Thunder. I mean, like an Azur Lane, a UR fighter that was an Me-262 would be awesome. Oh no, you're talking about the 50mm. Okay, yeah, never mind. I understand what you're talking about, Marauder. Should have come. Maybe Washington needs a good augment as opposed to retrofit or a version 2. I don't want her to get a version 2. I want her to get an augment that gives her an actually useful skill. I'm like, no more version 2s, please. I would appreciate no more version 2s. At least not for a while. Not like not ever, but not for a while. When our Russian tanks are just cardboard made in mass production. That's why farmers aren't scared of them. We go, oh gee, if we learn one thing, then that Russian can look itself real good on paper. It could be better than Abrams. Oh, well, we know it's not better than Abrams. Let's see. But you really think a nation built on a communism and corruption and stuff can build a better tank than USA, Japan, or Germany, or hence even Japan nowadays? Russia proved that Ukraine war that the T-90M and all the gear that they had sucked hardcore. Actually, from what I have seen, because I've watched some videos of the T-90M, and it's done actually pretty decently, from what I've seen. Because like, think about like the main weakness was that if you ammo racked the T-72 or any T-72 or Russian autoloader type tank, the ammunition would explode and cook the crew and erupt like a volcano, and the turret would go flying. I've been looking for videos, and there's like, I haven't seen any where that happens to a T-90. Well, actually, okay, I saw one where that happens to a T-90M turret, and the T-90M turret goes flying. But like, because they have added protection for that. But they also, like the T-90M, there have been a lot of like, things they've been able to use it for. So they've been able to use it like as an artillery. And it's been able to take out like quite a few tanks. The thing is, I don't know how it stacks up against taking out a Leopard. I guess it would take probably someone with a first-hand account of that, and that's not me, to actually understand how good it is against a Leopard. My ears, am I deaf, or I mute my headphones, or I mute? The Fireball or a new F-8F are the U.S. best chance for a UR fighter. Fireball. I'm hoping it's the P-80 Navy experimental version. I'd be acceptable. I'd be accepting of an F-8F if the F-8F came with like HVAR rockets and could intercept like a plane, like a fighter. Like it would be the only plane that could both launch rockets and do the fighter intercepts. That would be an acceptable UR plane to me if it was the F-8F. Mr. V, the only version 2 I think I could still up this year, I think could still be up this year is a Magi. I understand that too. I think so too. I agree with that. See, Marauder. I don't think Russian tanks were the main issue, more like how they use them. That's what I've seen too. It's like the tactics for Russia, they seem to be, there was a lot of like charge first and ask questions later, but it seems like when they actually use good tactics, they do pretty well. I don't know what's going on over there, Lunar, so I don't know why. Like, does everyone else still have good audio? Please let me know in the chat. Does everyone else still have good audio? Because Lunar's having audio trouble. See, there we go. I watched the video about a Leopard A7 Plus against the T-90M, and the T-90 had not even close to a chance against it, and since the Abrams is basically the American Leopard, the T-90 also had no chance against the Abrams too. Lunar, audio issue is you, my guy. Okay. We know the word maintenance is not in their dictionary. Lunar, you're not wrong. Mr. V, yeah, I'm good. Audio's fine. Audio's good. Audio's good. Okay, so everyone's saying the audio is good. So, Lunar, I don't know what's going on over there. Okay, Shuttle Killer, I know. I noticed that when the Windows jump scare surprised me, I muted my headphones. Oh, okay. Okay, so we're good. Okay, we're good then. Rico says, is it just me or is the Abrams and Leopard just so hard way in front of our time? Crazy how good those two are. Well, I would say this. The Abrams, when it was first introduced, was way ahead of its time. it was a tank that came from the future, and nothing proved that more than the Gulf War. I know the Leopard pretty much has the same level of armor and protection as an Abrams, so I would count it as the same, roughly, no, comparable. But basically, yeah, the Abrams. There was a funny comment I saw in one of these reviews of the KVT tank that showed that the KVT in War Thunder is a piece of crap. Not a total piece of crap. It's still usable. It's just it's not as good as it should be. And what the top comment was this guy sarcastically saying, "Oh yeah, I remember when all those Russian tanks in the 1990s tore up the Abrams." Because that's what happens in War Thunder. That should not happen. And then he had like, wait, ... And that was the top comment. Like, everyone liked that comment. And I'm like, I like that comment too. War Thunder. I can never give him my money again. Bastards. Anyway. But damn, your Windows is loud to scare the shit out of me, Lunar. The funny US plane is the Bat. The design was so strange and wild looking, almost as strange as the Flapjack, which is in the game. Funny US plane is the Bat? Wait, what design is the Bat? Noriko, always when you compare new tanks, then you compare them with Leopard and Abrams. That's true. They are viewed as like the top standard of what a tank is and should be. Not only that, but an Abrams with a Tusk system. Totally badass. It's like we learned all those. The Tusk system was developed since all the lessons from Iraq were learned. It's the Abrams with explosive reactive armor on the sides, and a bunch of other stuff added to it. It looks so cool. See, better wait till they introduce new Abrams Premium after everyone bought the inferior one. Oh gosh, you know what's good? That would make okay. So, if I didn't buy the Abrams KVT and they introduced a new Abrams, that would make every player that bought the KVT like pretty much flip tables. They'd be that angry over it. Just be like, "Are you serious? The KVT was a trap." And me, who did not spend money on it, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, that was obvious. Or no, I'm going to be that astronaut meme. Always has been. I'm going to be the meme, the astronaut in the meme. Always has been. Look up the XP-67 Moonbat. Or Bat. It was so advanced in World War II, it failed because the design really required fly-by-wire to work, and they didn't have that. Let me see this plane. Huh. Okay, it looks cool. Okay, it looks like a Tiger Cat. Like an F7F Tiger Cat, but someone tried to add stealth to it. It looks sleek. Dang. Yeah, okay, I see what you're working with here. The Moonbat. I like the concept. Tiger Cat probably did it better. You mean the B-21 Raider, that bat plane? Bro, the XP-67 looks like the bat plane from Batman. Batman, man. Okay. The KVT is a Russian trap, literally. I agree, Marauder. I agree. Literal Russian trap to get you to give them their or your money. They ain't getting mine. Hmm. Hmm. The Ohio astronaut OG rant inbound in 3, 2, 1. I'm trying to hold back on ranting over the criminality of what War Thunder has done to the KVT. But what they did was criminal. Anyway, Mr. V says XFU5 is the flying flatjack in game. The F7F is an upgrade of the XF or the XF5F, which was also way ahead of its time, and sadly wasn't picked to be the start of war U.S. fighter. Okay, the skyrocket. Yeah, I could see that. Marauder Shields. V173 is the best looking plane, hands down. V173, let me see this. The VOT V173. Oh, the flatjack. Okay, the pancake. It looks ridiculous, but it looks funny. Yeah. XF5U. Okay. Mr. V. Hmm. Every name you say his name, I remember the meme of that guy screaming, Mr. Beast! Every time you say his name. Who, me? Wait, what name? It looks like it shouldn't exist. I need to get that formal paperwork together when I file that paperwork against War Thunders for their criminal actions on the KVT. I need to find out exactly where to go for that. I'm gonna file a class action lawsuit with all the other players. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna go that far. But I'm just saying, it'll be like the administrative gamer complaint equivalent of that. I'm just gonna post a website and be like, "Hey, can I get some signatures for this that the KVT should be an M1A1?" Is that too much to ask? Best looking plane in World War II was the ME-163. What? That thing was ugly. The Horton 229 looked better than the ME-163. The Horton 229 at least looked like a bad guy plane. Like the Horton 229 to me, it looks like so advanced. It looks like it flew out of a comic book as the villain's main plane. Lunar, no, me. Oh, okay. The ugliest U.S. fighter is the P-75 Eagle. So nasty looking. Let me see this plane. P-75 Eagle. How ugly is this plane? Okay, that's not as ugly as I thought it was going to be. That definitely ain't great, though. It's like a plane with oh, it has a double what was it, twin prop. Okay. Huh. Most powerful liquid-cooled engine available. Program was canceled, but only a small number of prototypes and production aircraft were completed. Okay, it's not as ugly as I thought it was going to be. Yeah, it looks like a plane with some slightly extreme and ridiculous dimensions, but a plane nonetheless. $163 is so hot the pilots burn until today. Marauder, you aren't wrong. All the chemicals in the 163, you were basically strapping yourself in an explosive rocket. Noriko, look, bro, the 163 was so sleek and good looking. I think the 163 looks ridiculous with the propeller on the front. To me, the most sleek plane in that in that direction looking is the Horton 229. The Horton 229 to me looks way more sleek than the 163. Are you gonna call shenanigans? Shoulder, you mean on War Thunder? Call them and be like, I call shenanigans. Turn the KVT into an M1A run. I'm gonna call them and be like, this is anti-US bias. I object, Your Honor. Mr. V, the XP-54 and XP-55 are interesting for U.S. planes too. I like those planes. Those two planes also look futuristic. ME-410 was also a sexy one. Hang on a sec. I don't have that an image of that off memory. ME-410. Which one was that? It's all right looking. It's all right looking. Also, the Horton 229 uses the Mark 103 cannons. Love those cannons. Oh yeah, in War Thunder, those cannons, they fire slow, but it doesn't take too many rounds to actually drop somebody. Like if you're going up against a bomber in War Thunder with those cannons, it takes like maybe just a couple hits to bring it down. Definitely way better than the ME-262's like heavy 30mm rounds that always drop when you're aiming them. Those things are miserable to aim. Late war Italian fighters are sleek as can be, too. Look at the MC-205, Fiat 55, or Re 2005. I do remember the Re 2005. See, I think BF-110 looks better than ME-410. Let me take a look at some of these planes. Yeah, the BF-110 is maybe just a little bit better looking. I'm also looking at it in a very sleek gray and yellow paint job. Yeah, interesting. Let me see. MC-205 fighter. Yeah, fairly sleek. Fairly sleek design. Fiat 55. Fiat G55. Actually, that looks almost the same. Almost, but not quite. And then re-2005 fighter. This one definitely looks the best. It looks almost the same, but it looks the best out of these three planes. See, Germans basically... Oh wait, the best jet World War II plane was the Horten 229. That is without a doubt. Unquestionable. Is the Flapjack worth investing? Yes, Mike, it is. It is. So the shining grace of the Flapjack is that when it launches, it has a super slow speed. So it creeps across the map slowly, but the longer it is above in the air, the more chances it has to for its guns to actually hit the enemy and do damage, or hit like enemy fighters and do damage. And then it drops bombs on top of that. So yes, the Flapjack is worth investing. I would say so, yes. See, the 410 looks like a bomber, but don't get fooled. It carries a bunch of rockets and armaments. Okay. But the best jet... Oh, wait, I already read that one. Hang on a second, I need to move my fleet. For being a Navy guy, you are a veritable fountain of info in other fields. Why, thank you, Vol Fussman. I happen to just love reading about this stuff. I don't know what it is. It's like I always love reading about the, you know, I guess how all the other stuff is doing. Crazy how sexy the Horten 229 looks, and damn. It was so good, it let the ME-262 look like a grandpa. You know, I'm wondering if, like, here's the thing. We don't... The scene is how they clearly built the prototype. It's just they didn't fly it, or at least... not that we knew they flew it. It looks like they built it, and they might... It's possible they flew it. But, you know, they folded it up, and they had it, like, ready to go somewhere, and then it got caught during the war. We don't know if they flew the Horten 229, but it looks like in terms of the numbers available, it would have been the best jet in all of World War II, yes. I admit 410 has really interesting tail guns. I learned by just listening a lot, Mike. I might actually have to go, so we're approaching like, what, the 4-hour mark? My goodness. Yeah, this started... Yeah, actually, this started decently. Azure Lane, please Horten 229 now. That would be a definite UR plane. If they introduced the Horten 229, that would be a definite UR plane. It would be the coolest UR plane. Unquestionably. It would probably be the best fighter there is available. Mr. V, the Stipa Caproni is a super strange looking plane. Okay, and now I need to look this one up. Let me see this. Stipa Caproni. Wow, it looks like a wind tunnel for a cylinder with wings. It looks like someone took a wind tunnel and somehow strapped wings to the side and added a makeshift cockpit to the top, and then slapped a makeshift tail fin on the back of it. This plane looks like it was duct taped together. I wouldn't climb into this thing. I'd be like, that's all you guys, man. Built from 1900 to 19... Let's see. Oh, no, wait. First flight, 1932. Okay. Yeah, you wouldn't catch me dead in one of these. Caproni looks like it is from a kid's cartoon. Yes, it does, Mr. V. It looks like I said, it looks duct taped together. It actually looks like a bunch of kids were like, oh my gosh, we need to build a plane. We're going to make it awesome. And then they came up with, you know, that. Rico, what the F is that monstrosity? Bro, what the F is that monstrosity? Marauder shields is the perfect flying barrel. It's a large plane that helped in development of the jet. So apparently it made history. It proved its point. That plane looks like a Ferrari testing new grounds. Caproni made strange planes like the CA-60. CA-60 plane. Let me take a look at this one. Caproni CA-60. Yeah, that looks ridiculous. The amount of things you had to do to get a fuselage in the air back then is absolutely ridiculous. When was this built? Let's see. First flight 1921. So it actually flew. That is a lot of wing. Yeah. Once again, you would not catch me in one of those. I'd be like, they'd be like, "Hey, do you want to join us on this flight on the Caproni 60?" I'll be like, "Nah, I think I'm good. I choose life." That plane looks like an origami plane. If that's a fair assessment, Noriko. Fair assessment. CA-60. Let's see. Caproni was an Italian airplane designer who made some of the first successful bombers ever. Okay, I didn't know that. CA-60 looks like a construction site someone wanted to give an ability to fly. Yeah, I see that. Should have seen some of the old Russian choppers I had to get on Volfuspin. Oh. You also would not catch me dead in one of those. Those things were ancient. Yeah, I wouldn't be climbing on those. I'd be like, hard pass for me. I'm walking. I'm hoofing it. Shoto, if I was on the sinking Yorktown and that Caproni plane was there to fly away, I'd choose the water. Shoto, good day, everyone. Welcome, Shoto. How are you today? How are you on this fine 4th of July? Okay, actually, after this clearing, I think I'm gonna end the stream. I'm like, yeah, I'm approaching 4 hours now. Shoto, good day, everyone. Let's see. Manju Babu. The Caproni N1 was the first successful jet plane. Also strange looking. Okay, I'll look it up. Caproni N1. Let me see what Caproni was working with. Caproni N1 Novi plane. Yeah, it looks like a flying cigar. Yeah, the Caproni N1 jet looks like a flying cigar. Okay. Let's see. I love the first attempts to make a helicopter. Those machines look so goofy and I love them. You also wouldn't catch me dead in one of those. I ain't climbing on that ride. See, love... Oh, wait. Hold on a second. Shoto. Hello, Nari-chan. Mr. V. One of the first. Noriko sends heart. And one looks like a flying McDonald's cola straw. That's also true, Noriko. Flying cigar or a McDonald's cola straw. Both acceptable answers, yes. There we go. 4 hours with no booba talk today. Damn. Independence today is truly special. Or Independence Day is truly special. Yeah. Yeah, no booba talk. That is a surprise for Demon Time Tuesday. It almost always drifts into the realm of talking about booba. Instead, we talked about freedom and many things, and how War Thunder is biased against Americans, and also strange-looking aircraft, and honor, and Miyamoto Musashi, and honor between warriors during, respect between sailors during war. So I would say this was a productive stream. Excellent talking points. I did not mean to click the reward center. Whoopsie daisy. Go back. I did not mean to click that. Okay, there we go. Anyway. Yeah. This has been a very productive stream. And it was my pleasure to stream this with you guys. So I think, having said that, I shall close out the stream. And then Noriko says Musashi has some great boobas. Okay, I think I shall just read the rest of these, and then I'll close out the stream. And this has been a fun stream with you guys. Happy. Okay, it did that thing where it clocks out and then clocks back in. So, right at the end of the stream. Anyway, see, Texas Red, thanks OG, enjoyed it very much. Noriko, what? And Marauder Shields, lol. Okay, well, this has been a fun stream. I'd like to wish all of you a happy Independence Day, or if not, whatever day you are at. I wish it is a happy day for you too. A happy 4th of July. And this is OG Investigator signing out. Once again, if you like my content, please like and subscribe. And I'd like to wish all you Shikikans a farewell and